Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Happy New Year. I hope you guys had a fantastic evening with your loved ones. I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. Thank you very much for joining me today on the BamaInsider.com watch party. Kickoff will actually be at 3:20 Central Time. TV is ESPN. This is the BamaInsider.com watch party. So how the watch party works is we're going to have stats on the screen. I'll provide some commentary. I'll just hang out with you guys. We'll hang out all day long. And then after the watch party is the post-game call-in show where you guys can call in. I'll take your calls right after the game. So we'll have a big action-packed day on January 1st, 2021. 2020, it's in the past. 2021, it's all about moving forward in the Alabama Crimson Tide, a 20-point favorite against Notre Dame in this game. Why don't you post your score predictions in the comment box to get things started? I'll kind of be back and forth between the game. I mean, this is totally relaxed atmosphere. You know, we'll kind of chop it up and we'll talk about the Rose Bowl. And then tonight we got Clemson and Ohio State. Tell me the score predictions in that particular game. I'm eager to get your take in that one. We have the stats right here on the screen. And again, kickoff is at 3:20. If you're just joining us, definitely hit the thumbs up button. We got a ton of content. Definitely go check out our channel. We got Jalen Waddle, a Jalen Waddle sighting, if you will. He's not going to play in today's game, but I think he's making progress. And that's, one of the most positive things that I think we needed to know, right? I mean, and I think a lot of people, when you look at the overall season, how much more could Jalen Waddle add to this offense, the explosiveness of Alabama's offense? Let's just kind of zoom in on the stats real quick before, and I'm going to step away and then I'll come back and I'll hang out with you guys, throughout the day. And don't feel like you guys have to stay here. Look, I get it. The game's on TV. I'm here. So kind of, do you, okay? Mac Jones right here as we zoom into the screen, Heisman finalist, 3,700 yards, 32 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. And I think one thing that has really set him apart has been his efficiency rating. You look at a guy that is highly efficient. He's worked on his craft. ESPN had a great video interview today with his father and kind of just setting goals. And I think it's really been impressive to see him, the progression of Mac Jones, right? Najee Harris and the fine season that he's had, I feel like he should still be a Heisman finalist, especially after the way Kyle Trask played, right? I think that the Heisman Trophy should be settled at the end of the season. It's kind of weird that it's, voted on before the games have even finally been played, because these are the biggest games. Let's see how these players play in big-time games. For example, Najee Harris, what he did against Florida. Look, the votes were already tabulated, so it's like the guy doesn't get a fair shake. 214 carries, 1,200 yards, 24 rushing touchdowns. He also has 3 receiving touchdowns. We saw him score 5 touchdowns in the SEC championship game. Really incredible to see what he's done. Brian Robinson, next in line in the rushing category, 404 yards with 6 touchdowns. I've talked about this plenty. Do you think Brian Robinson will come back? He's a senior. So I think when you look at Brian Robinson, and a lot of people need to understand this, these guys have until January 18th, I believe, to either declare, for the NFL, or if you're a senior, to announce if you want to come back under the NCAA blanket waiver. The NCAA made a blanket waiver this year that basically said, if the guys wanted to come back because of COVID, they certainly could do that. All right. So that's kind of where we are right now on BamaInsider.com. Definitely hit the thumbs up button. I'll kind of be back and forth, and we'll go over some more stats, before kickoff, which is at 3:20. Jace McClellan, he's had an incredible year, right? 245 yards on just 23 carries. It's pretty incredible to see that he has a 10.7 yard per carry average. I mean, just a freshman, right? That guy's doing a fantastic job. And as you saw, I put out a video recently talking about Trey Sanders and saying, look, kill that narrative that I'm going to transfer. Look, he's in Arlington right now. Tony Sokalis, our team writer who's down there, said he's on crutches, and the guy is rehabbing. How about the fine season that Devontae Smith has had, right? 98 receptions in a single season. Just really incredible to think about when you step back. 98 receptions, 1,500 yards, 17 touchdowns. Overall, he has 19 touchdowns because he has a punt return, and then he also has a rushing TD. I mean, look at those stats. They're ridiculous, right? John Mechie has 44 receptions for 782 yards on the season with 6 touchdowns. And then Jalen Waddle, whose season was cut short in October, has 25 receptions for 557 yards with 4 touchdowns. And then Najee Harris is the team's 4th leading rusher with 316 yards. This team has a lot of offense, a lot of potency. How about Billingsley right here? 12 receptions for 221 yards. I think when you kind of look to guys who have stepped up in the absence of Jalen Waddle, yeah, it's been Mechie for sure. He's definitely stood out. But I really like the creativity from Steve Sarkisian using Billingsley, because he's a guy who I think is a hybrid tight end that we all want to see. Kind of, when you look to Kyle Pitts, when you look to I think Brevin Jordan out of Miami, those guys utilize their tight ends well because they're like tight end slash receivers. And I think you have that with Billingsley. So he's been having a great season overall. We talk about the kicker, Will Riker, right? 12 for 12. And how nice is that to see? And you look at the extra points, 73 of 73. The guy has just been fantastic overall. And, he's really put together a fine season for the Alabama Crimson Tide. This is the BamaInsider.com watch party. My name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Definitely hit the thumbs up button, like and subscribe. The game is on ESPN. We don't show the game here. I think that's a common question. But we'll put the scores up and we'll have, running stats and, I'll provide some commentary. And I'm just, watching the game with you guys. It's a celebration of the college football season. That is what the watch party is about. And then after the watch party, we'll come back and we'll have the call-in show where I will take your calls and get your comments on the Alabama Crimson Tide following their game against Notre Dame. So that game will be kicking off at 3:20. Here's the matchup kind of from a statistical standpoint. Ian Book and what he's been able to do for Notre Dame, 2,600 yards, 15 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions on the season. Very slippery type of a quarterback. Kind of reminds me of a little bit more mobile Bo Nix in a sense. Now, when I watched Notre Dame against Clemson in this last game, and I think we all did during the ACC championship game, you notice that Notre Dame couldn't really get things going offensively. And I think that's what's going to happen today against the Alabama Crimson Tide, because I think the Crimson Tides, their pass rush has really found itself, I feel. And you look at guys like Christian Barmore, William Anderson, guys that can get to the quarterback. Look, they might not be able to take him down 5-6 times because he's very slippery. I think he'll be able to make some plays, but I think the heat on him will allow the Alabama secondary to come up with big plays today. So I think Alabama's offense, kind of business as usual. I think in the beginning of this game, I think you're going to see Alabama come out, like we've seen them all season long, put up points on the board, maybe 35 points, 28 points, whatever the case is. And I think in the second half, kind of what we've seen, you're able to take the air out of the game with Najee Harris, Brian Robinson, big rushes, and control that time of possession. I think that'll be something that Notre Dame tries to do in the beginning of this game, is keep away from Alabama and try to control that time of possession. But again, you don't get points for time of possession. My name is Kyle Henderson. If you're new here, definitely hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. You can also become a member of our channel right here on BamaInsider.com by hitting the join button right under the screen. You can also become a member at BamaInsider.com. Plenty of coverage, recruiting with Andrew Bone. Our team writer, Tony Sakalas, does a fantastic job. Let me know where you guys are coming from inside the comment box. I'd be happy to, kind of see where you guys are coming from. I'm in Tuscaloosa today. Tony Sakalas, our team writer, is in Arlington, Texas. So he's the one who sent back the footage of Jalen Waddle, and we'll catch up with him as well after the game. I'm going to step away for just a quick moment, and then I'll be back. And, we'll have kickoff at 3:20. This is the BamaInsider.com watch party. My name's Kyle Henderson at BamaInsider.com. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll catch you soon right here on the watch party. I'm going to step away for just a second. I'll be right back. All right, back here on BamaInsider.com. I appreciate you guys joining me today. Remember, the game is on ESPN. This is the BamaInsider.com watch along watch party coming to you on January 1st, 2021. I appreciate you guys joining me today. I'll have stats on the screen and kind of provide some commentary as we move past this game. I mean, what a day it's been. You guys saw that Georgia and Cincinnati game, right? And that was hilarious. Did you see after the game, Georgia comes back, in the wild game against Cincinnati, and they're trying to pour the Gatorade on him, and he like jumps over the pylon. Hilarious. I just posted it on my Twitter account, rivals_Kyle. Go check it out. It's so funny. How about Jerome Ford? Remember, Jerome Ford was at Alabama as a running back, then transferred out. I believe he had over 100 yards against Georgia today, ripped off a 79-yard touchdown. So it's good to see kind of guys who have, left Alabama for whatever reason, continue to succeed. I mean, it's all about these kind of athletes, doing what's best for those guys. And I think, seeing Jerome Ford today was great. Coming into this game, Alabama, 20-point favorites, 3 touchdowns. Nick Saban, fielded questions earlier this week kind of about avoiding the rat poison, kind of staying lasered in, staying focused. And I think that's the way you definitely have to approach a game like this, because I think all of us right here who follow the Alabama Crimson Tide feel that, Alabama is kind of a buzzsaw right now, that they're untouchable. Now, look, anything can happen in any type of game. I feel strongly that Alabama comes away with a big victory today because of this offense. And I feel that the defense has kind of been dialed in. I think that Pete Golding, we saw his press conference, just a couple days ago before the Rose Bowl. It's hard not to like the guy's mentality, right? I mean, yeah, I get it. The defense is always going to be kind of, something that we talk about because the game of college football has changed, but Nick Saban clearly likes Pete Golding, or else he would have made a change at the end of last season or at some point this season. I mean, remember, there's so many times where you kind of pointed out to Pete Golding, and you kind of look at the way that Alabama's defense has been able to transform for the better. So let's see what he does today. I mean, could he be potentially coaching for his job? I think that everybody's coaching for the job over these next 2 games. And I think where the defense is right now and how they've been playing, especially with the pass rush, I really like how Alabama has been able to be creative and get to the quarterback. Now, getting to Ian Book today will be a little bit challenging just because he can, he can make you miss. He's very mobile, very slippery, as I like to say. Showing clips of him right now on ESPN, kind of, evading the pocket and keeping the play alive. And I think that's something that you have to be careful about, because if you have a quarterback that can make plays, it's going to tire out the defense. And quite simply, it's tough to prepare for, because the guy is a playmaker, the guy is an athlete. But I think besides that, Clemson was able to really dictate this game with pass rush, and I think Alabama is certainly going to have that sort of pass rush approach in this game against Notre Dame. Let me ask you this. What's up, Jarvis? I see you. What's up, Arthur? Champion. I see everybody in the comment box. Thank you so much for joining us. Game's on ESPN. Kickoff at 3:20, so about 5 minutes from kick right here on BamaInsider.com. The game is on ESPN. My name is Kyle Henderson at BamaInsider.com. We got a ton of coverage coming your way on Bama Insider. Right after this will be the post-game call-in show, where I'll take your calls and comments. And then after the post-game call-in show, or right during, we'll have Nick Saban's press conference, which will be great. Get to hear from Coach Saban, as well as the offensive and defensive players following this game against Notre Dame. So definitely hit the subscribe button so you're always informed when we drop a video right here on BamaInsider.com. How the watch party works, how the watch along works. What I'm going to do is I'll step away. I'll put some stats on the screen. And hey, what's up, Ms. Jackson? I appreciate it. No, the game is on ESPN. So go watch the game. This is BamaInsider.com. This is the watch party. So if if you want to watch the game, it's on ESPN, and the kick will be at 3:20 Central Time. And Matthew, I just posted it. It'll be at 3:20 Central Time. So this is the BamaInsider.com watch along. My name is Kyle Henderson at BamaInsider.com. And I think, let me get this from you guys. Who will be the MVP in this game? Post inside the comment box for Alabama. Who do you think will be today's game MVP? For me, I kind of look at a player that's, continue to be high. I mean, all these guys have been performing at such a high level, but I'm kind of with you, Jarvis. I mean, you look at players who have really been, performing at the right level. You look at a player like Najee Harris. I mean, what Najee's been able to do, kind of that backstretch, has been phenomenal. I mean, his performance against Florida, I think, is memorable. I mean, the guy had 5 touchdowns, carried the football 31 times. Got to hear him speak earlier this week. I mean, the guy is going to be missed here at Alabama. So Cody's saying it's going to be Devontae Smith, and why not? I mean, 98 receptions, kind of, the career that he's put together at Alabama is just ridiculous, right? You catch for 98 receptions. I mean, how many receptions will he have today? I mean, maybe 10, maybe 12. I don't know. Last game he had 15. It's crazy, right? And the guy gets open so much. I mean, you would think like these teams have, double team, triple team, whatever it's going to be, but Devontae Smith can kind of evade those defenders and find him in open space. And Mac Jones did such a fantastic job getting the football out to, his wide receivers this entire season. I mean, I can't even imagine this offense with Jalen Waddle at this point, because, you're only getting better or worse. Let's face it. Alabama's team has continued to get better each and every week. The offense has been lights out. And Isaac, yeah, you can watch the game, man. Just turn on ESPN. All right. Not a big deal, buddy. Go to ESPN and the game will be on if you want to check out the Rose Bowl. So my name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Looks like we're getting very close to kick. Today's captains include the normal captains: Devontae Smith, Mac Jones, Alex Leatherwood, and Landon Dickerson, who is with the team on the sidelines in sweats. Also, injuries of note. Trey Sanders also at the game in crutches, which I think is a good sign. It's not in a wheelchair, like we've seen in some earlier highlights. And then you have Jalen Waddle, who we saw earlier today, kind of catching passes. So will Jalen Waddle play in this game? No, not today. But could he be ready for the championship game should Alabama win today against Notre Dame? I would say yes. I think January 11th. I mean, that's another week and a half for this guy to really come to. And will Alabama need Jalen Waddle? I think Alabama's going to need everybody should Clemson win. And I think they're going to. I mean, the game is after this game. What do you guys think? Clemson and Ohio State. Post inside the comment box. Alabama running onto the field right now. The game is on ESPN. This is the BamaInsider.com watch party, watch along. My name is Kyle Henderson. I'll have stats on the screen. I'll kind of pop in from time to time. You guys can sound off in the comment box. I'll post you guys the best comments. Go on the screen. Nick Saban in the Alabama Crimson side in the beautiful crimson jerseys. Notre Dame coming out in the white jerseys with the gold tops. I mean, two of the top uniforms in the country, right? I mean, these are historic programs coming into this one. Alabama, a 19-point favorite. Notre Dame's running onto the field right now. 3-touchdown favorite in the Rose Bowl. I think it's the biggest spread that there's been in a Rose Bowl. I'm taking it, right? I think absolutely Alabama, is able to win by more than 3 touchdowns. And I'm not just because I cover Alabama. I think this is just a matchup problem. I think Notre Dame is going to have problems on the defensive side. Hey, what's up, Dolphins? I appreciate it. Yeah, Happy New Year to you as well. Super chats, greatly appreciated. What are super chats? Basically like a tip. There's a lot of moving parts here at BamaInsider.com. So if you guys super chat, those go on the screen as well. And they show support. And we appreciate your support right here on BamaInsider.com. You guys can show us the game. We don't care about you. Okay. Hey, well, look, the game is on. The game is on ESPN. So appreciate it. Look, I've done these watch parties every single week. Look, I tell you, look, the game is on ESPN. This is like a celebration of the college football season. We appreciate you guys being here with us. And here's the coin toss right here on Bama Insider. And truth be told, a lot of people might not have access to ESPN or whatever. Don't think that, people can just watch the game. I mean, this is another avenue for people to get their information. So, that's something that we also do. We have people from all over the world who might not be able to, access the game. So we provide that platform. So, yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Aaron. It's not like I just want to come up here and just, talk and take your time away. I'm trying to provide some sort of a service so you guys can have access and stats to the game. I'm not trying to keep you here. Look, go watch the game at ESPN. I don't care. I'm just glad you guys are here today and you guys are subscribing to our channel because we're going to have the Nick Saban press conference after the game. I'm going to have the post-game call-in show. So, no, that's kind of how it works. And away we go. Number one question, maybe I should make a post. We need some moderators up in here as well. So if you want to be a moderator, hit me up, Kyle at Bama Insider, or just post inside the comment box if you're up to be a moderator so we can get kind of the message out if people haven't, if this is their first time, because I get it. You might wake up on January 1 and you're like, man, go to YouTube to watch the game. A great place, and I'm not sponsored by YouTube or anything, but if you can go to YouTube TV, they have a great membership. I think it's like, I think we pay like $50, $60 a month and you get ESPN, you get all your channels that you want. So YouTube TV is great, and it doesn't tie you to cable. We pulled away from cable. So Alabama will kick off. The game is on ESPN, and we're underway right here on Bama Insider. We appreciate you guys being here. Everybody's hyped, and away we go with the 2021 Rose Bowl, and away we go. Alabama, a 20-point favorite in this game, and we'll see what happens. Here comes Will Reichard. It's on the screen. How this will work is I'll kind of be, back and forth, throughout this game. So, you can just hang with me, come back, chat, whatever you guys want to do. We appreciate you guys being here on BamaInsider.com. And you guys might be a little ahead of me, just like I said, on YouTube. One of the things that I noticed on YouTube is that, there is a slight delay. So I'm, maybe like 10 seconds or something like that behind you. My goodness. Ball comes out on the first play of the game. The return man was completely destroyed, literally destroyed. Ball comes out. Notre Dame retains possession. But, talk about a big hit, and that was delivered by Josh Jobe. One of the things that I love about Alabama is how they're able to, put their best on the field, even in special teams situations. So, it's really, incredible to see, like Josh Jobe, Devontae Smith, those guys playing special teams, because a lot of times at this level, you don't have your best guys playing special teams. You even see that sometimes at the high school level. But hey, the game is on ESPN, everybody. Game is on ESPN. I'll just put the banner up, guys, so you guys can understand that. Let's see. Sounds like it's confusing. Hey, if you're here, the TV is let me make that banner a little bit better. Maybe I'll put this, and this will help some people kind of understand what we got going here. This is just a watch party. If you're joining us, kind of the watch party, the watch along. We do not stream the game. I'm sorry if it's confusing for you guys. You guys can, check out any of, the other channels that are might be streaming the game. I would try. Someone just said Sling inside the comment box. Whatever you got to do. I'm telling you, YouTube TV is great. So I appreciate it. And Tobias, what's up, man? I see you. Run to the outside for Notre Dame. And I'm not going to do like the whole play-by-play. It's that'd be ridiculous because it's a 3.5-hour game. Plus I got the watch party after. So Notre Dame with the first down, the outside looks like they, did a good job running the football. Notre Dame, and I think in this game, will be able to, or they want to control the time of possession. Why wouldn't you, right? You don't want Alabama's offense on the field very much. And here's another look at Ian Book. Looks like Alabama trying to get to the quarterback. Book fires out, and wow, that could have almost been a fumble, in my opinion. So we'll see. So I'll kind of be back and forth. You guys enjoy this opening first half of the game, and I'll come right back here on BamaInsider.com. Enjoy yourself, and be right back here on BamaInsider.com. Arterius, what's up, man? Happy New Year to you as well. We appreciate you being here on Bama Insider. What's up? What's up, Sam? I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us today. Game is on ESPN, everybody. I think Jackie Sexton, I think you are close to becoming one of my moderators. You are always here and show such great support, so we appreciate it. Appreciate you. You might be awarded the moderator status on here, so take that as a compliment. All right, so a 3-and-out for the Alabama Crimson Tide, and we're going to get to see Alabama's offense come out in the Rose Bowl, get some other stats, and let me zoom this in for you guys a little bit better. Yeah, and I think like Eric said right here, this is important. Chris Owens is a guy that everybody is watching. Quick backstory on Chris Owens. He's replacing Landon Dickerson at the center position for the Crimson Tide today. But look, Chris Owens is not a guy just off the bench. This guy has played in plenty of snaps this season. I believe he has over 300 snaps. He played in 50 snaps against Tennessee, I believe, at the center position when Landon Dickerson was slid over to guard. And then against Arkansas, you also had Chris Owens at the right tackle position. So, this guy certainly does play. All right, I'll be right back here. You guys stay with us right here on Bama Insider. That's what I like. I like to see how Alabama is able to distribute the football to Billingsley. I think Billingsley is a guy that you can continue to use. And I mean, I just think he's kind of that next big time tight end in college football. I mean, love what he's able to do. I like everything about him, his size. I like the way um, that he runs his routes. He has strong hands. Stat broadcast. Let me get some other stats on the screen as well. Let's look at the Alabama offense. Rose Bowl. Notre Dame went 3-and-out to open the game. A lot of pressure on Mac right there. He's able to step up and still kind of rolled out of the pocket and kind of evaded some of those defenders and was able to hook up with Miller Forrestall, which is great. That was a lot of pressure. I need to kind of rewind that to see where the pressure came from, because I think we all have kind of the eyes on Chris Owens right at the center position. Mac Jones in this game right now, 4 of 4, 42 yards, passer rating of 188. Najee Harris, 1 rush for 11 yards. Miller Forrestall, 2 receptions for 21 yards. Najee Harris, 1 reception for 14 yards. Nice little pickup right there for Najee Harris a couple plays ago, and that was for 11 yards. I mean, the guy has been on a tear. Landon Dickerson loving it. I mean, the energy that he brings, right? It's certainly going to be missed on the field, but I love what he's able to do kind of from a leadership standpoint. It's like Mac Jones on the stats screen right here. It says Mac Jones pass incomplete to LeBron Ray. Clearly, that's not right. LeBron Ray, I don't even think he's playing this game. That was actually to Slade Bolden on that outside, which was incomplete. What do you guys think about Slade Bolden in his play, this season? I don't know. Be curious to get your take. I think there was a lot of people kind of, trying to figure out, hey, oh yeah, the game is on ESPN, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Go watch the game there. Come back. We're just chatting about the game, providing some commentary and some stats, but the game is on ESPN. I'll step away after this possession right here for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And just like that, boom, Alabama on the board, touchdown to guess who? Devontae Smith from Mac Jones. Scoring drive, 7 plays, 79 yards, lasted 2 minutes and 36 seconds. I mean, Alabama is just a buzzsaw. 7-0 early in this Rose Bowl, 10-14 remaining in the first quarter. Play was set up by a fantastic job by the Alabama Crimson Tide. Again, it was a 7-play, 79-yard drive lasting 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Devontae Smith catches the ball, gets a great stock block from the outside from John Mechie, and is able to kind of tiptoe down the line for a touchdown. And let's see. I mean, what he's able to do, I mean, Devontae Smith, in terms of his body control, his speed, it's really incredible in this game. 1 reception, 26 yards, and he took that for a touchdown. And just like that, Alabama's on the board. They lead 7-0 in the Rose Bowl. I'll be right back here on BamaInsider.com. Tobias hooking it up with a super chat. We appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Slim Reaper. Brent, what's up, man? Thank you so much. You guys hooking me up on the new year. And the Slim Reaper has done it again, man. Yeah, update. What board do you need me to update, Aaron? Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Brent. Appreciate it, man. Smitty killing it, man. Just an incredible job. Let's see. This the stats should be updated right here. Let's make sure that this is. Oh, here we go. I'll make sure that this screen continues to update, but the score is at the top of the screen. I'll be right back here on BamaInsider.com. Again, game is on ESPN. Happy New Year to you. Alabama starting the new year off in style, and Devontae Smith scores Alabama's first touchdown of 2021. What's up, everybody? It's Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Rose Bowl is in Arlington. I'm here in Tuscaloosa. Our team writer is actually at the game. Tony Sukalis, we'll hear from him after the game. Pretty incredible. I can't believe, that anybody thought that this game would uh, be close. I talked with some Notre Dame people, and they were, kind of hopeful. But, look, Alabama is a buzzsaw. How they've been able to distribute the football on the offensive side is incredible. Kind of look what Mac Jones has done. 5 of 6 on that drive, 68 yards. The touchdown was a 26-yard connection with Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith did most of the work on that, right? I think he's certainly going to win the Heisman Trophy. I think that was his 20th touchdown of the season. Najee Harris, 1 run, 11 yards, no big deal. Stats-wise, overall, Alabama has 79 yards of offense compared to Notre Dame's 21. Of course, it's just been 1 possession, but you start to see kind of, how dangerous this Alabama Crimson Tide football team is on the offensive side. That's why I say, hey, the game's on ESPN. Was appreciate it, man. I can't even imagine if you have Jalen Waddle, right? You add that element into this mix. So here we're getting to see Notre Dame's second possession. They've been able to run the football, a couple times. Williams right here, K. Williams for Notre Dame, number 23, has 2 rushes for 22 yards. That's something that you don't want if you're the Alabama defense, right? You got to make sure that you kind of button up. And that was on the tackle, that was DeMarco Helms. I'll pipe in some stats. Sometimes the broadcast, which is on ESPN, once again, they don't provide a lot of stats. So I try to add in a lot of statistical information because, let's face it, stats tell the story of the game. That time Alabama was able to get 2-23 for a wrap-up in the backfield. That time it was Brian Branch and Justin Ebogbe on the tackle. Notre Dame's going to face a 3rd and 2 at the Notre Dame 33. Of course, the game's on ESPN. Some people can't watch the game. Look, that's why we have kind of the watch party. We appreciate it. We appreciate you guys being here right here on BamaInsider.com. And Notre Dame is able to pick up a first down. Ian Book's able to distribute the football for 6 yards. And Notre Dame gets another first down to move the chains in this Rose Bowl. Alabama up 7-0, 9:03 remaining in the first quarter. Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. We appreciate you guys being here. Hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Check out all our content coming your way following this game right here on BamaInsider.com. Got a ton of coverage. Kind of leading up to this week. And if Alabama can put this one away, we'll do the same thing for Alabama in the national championship game. I can't wait to see the game tonight. Really excited to see Clemson in Ohio State. I think Clemson is able to cover that 7.5 spread. I think Trevor Lawrence is the quarterback we think he is. And I don't think Justin Fields is trending in the right direction. So that's kind of my take. We'll see what happens tonight, though. Yeah, well, the thing is, so look, a lot of other channels try to stream the game on YouTube. And quite frankly, that's illegal. So you can't do that because the broadcast rights belong to ESPN. So they quickly shut down those channels. So everybody always asks me, why do you not stream the game? Well, you can't, because then our channel will get shut down. So it's really not, worth it to try to, do something that's illegal in that sense. Other channels do it. We're not going to do it right here on BamaInsider.com. Great defense by Jordan Battle and Patrick Surtain on that. That was a great wrap up. 3rd and 7 for Notre Dame at the 42-yard line. Love that secondary. And that's what I'm talking about. I like the kind of the play from this defense from that midway point. And look at Christian Harris kind of getting to the backfield. And then you kind of see the secondary guys wrap up. There's Jordan Battle and Patrick Surtain in on that tackle. Coming to you from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Game is on ESPN. Notre Dame facing a 3rd and 7. And looks like it's going to be some sort of a short run by the quarterback is going to be wrapped up. They're going to give the tackle to Christian Barmore. So Notre Dame is going to face a 4th and 5, and they're going to punt for the 2nd time in this game. So you look at Notre Dame, and I kind of, when I watched Notre Dame play against Clemson, I immediately knew that this Notre Dame offense was going to have trouble against the Alabama defense. I just don't think that Notre Dame has a lot of firepower. Look, they have good athletes. I have a respect for the quarterback, but he's just, he's not that talented. So it's going to be a 4th and see if we can get this updated. I'm not sure why this is updated. Wow, that was a talk about field possession, right? Looks like Alabama's going to be like in the shadow of their own end zone. The officials are going to talk about the spot of the ball. Currently 7-0. See if continue to get this screen updated for you guys. Appreciate it. Officials looking at kind of this punt, where it went, where the spot will be. I don't know. What do you think? That was a heads up play. Great punt, right? It didn't. I mean, it didn't hit anybody. So let's see. See if I can get this stat box a little bit better for you guys. That's going to be a lot of a lot to work with for the Alabama offense. We'll be right back right here on Bama Insider. All right. So Alabama will start this drive. They got a long way to go, right? After a great Notre Dame punt, Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Thank you very much for joining us right here on the watch party. Watch along. We're celebrating the college football season. We've been doing so, this whole season. You guys have been with us. After this particular stream, we'll have the post-game call-in show. You guys can call in. I'll take your calls and comments, and we'll also have Nick Saban's press conference. We'll also dive into the game afterwards. I can't wait to watch the game between Clemson and Ohio State. So currently, Alabama has 79 yards of offense. That was on their first drive, which was capped off by a 26-yard touchdown from Devontae Smith, which put Alabama in this position, leading 7-0. Notre Dame has punted twice in this game. Ian Book for Notre Dame is 1 of 2 for 6 yards and has no touchdowns, quarterback rating of 75.1. As you kind of zoom in on this particular play again, trying to figure out if it hit anybody. Really interesting. That was a weird play. All right, so the drive starts off with a Najee Harris run for 15 yards. Najee Harris, 2 rushes, 26 yards in this game already. Look at that. Look at the Alabama offensive line. You look at kind of Najee Harris' ability to have power, acceleration, everything you want in an NFL back, right? You look at, guys who go to the NFL and running backs don't go off the board in the first round very often. I think Josh Jacobs was the last guy to do so. I mean, Najee Harris is built for the NFL. I mean, look at this. And I think we've seen this over the last 2 seasons. As we get deeper into the season, I saw this from Najee Harris. He starts to play better and better and better. For example, he's playing his best football right now, which is perfect. I mean, all these guys, you want them to play at their best level, but Najee Harris only gets better week by week. Mac Jones, completion of 9 yards to Devontae Smith, comes back, catches the football. Alabama continues to move the chains. This offense is just so dangerous. It's unbelievable. Update the screen again. Alabama just moving the football right down the field. And you're right, Mac is dialed in. You look at his statistic right now in this first quarter, 7 of 8, 85 yards, right? He's on pace, probably for another 400-yard game. This guy's, the Heisman voting is already over, but whoever wins it, Mac Jones, Devontae Smith, I think a large majority now feel that Devontae Smith is going to run away with the award. But, Mac Jones has been putting together just a fantastic year. And his efficiency is fantastic. And I think it all kind of points back to the fact that, A, Mac Jones is good, and 2, Steve Sarkisian has a great game plan. Look at Najee Harris. Oh, my goodness. That was crazy. That was so crazy. That jump by Najee Harris, unbelievable. I can't wait to see the GIFs of that. That was crazy. That was unbelievable. My goodness. Oh, jeez. Oh, my goodness. I can't wait to see people talk about this run. That was crazy. It was a thing of beauty. What was I just saying about Najee Harris? It seemed like he elevated. He flew up in the air, hurdles this dude, and then continues to reel off a gigantic run. Man, that was crazy. Wow. And then, pow, just like that, Alabama's in the end zone, 12-yard touchdown pass to Jaleel Billingsley. Alabama putting together work. 5 plays, 97 yards, 2 minutes and 11 seconds. That's how dangerous Alabama is. This is crazy. Billingsley, what I told you before the game, I love how they're able to use him, be creative with him. This is crazy. This offense is so good. This is the best offense in the country. Look at that. The dime from Mac 10, Mac dime, right? Billingsley doing his thing. Man, he's good. We're just talking about him. 14-0, Alabama up on Notre Dame. 5 plays, 97 yards, 2 minutes and 11 seconds. That's all it took. Alabama's on a whole nother level. I said this on the post-game show. Look, I've learned 2 things since I've lived in Alabama. 2 things. One thing, actually. Alabama is always good, and there's going to be another good team. That's it. Alabama's just on a whole other level. It's unbelievable how good this team is, how hard these guys work. Brent, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. That was unbelievable, and I need to take a break because that was too crazy for me. All right? Alabama's up 14-0 on Notre Dame. Not surprised. Alabama is a buzzsaw. Game is on ESPN. Please go watch that highlight of Najee Harris. I'm going to do that. I'm going to watch it 5 times, maybe 500 times. That was crazy. Be right back here on Bama Insider. And I'm back. I'm dumbfounded because every single time you start to talk about these individuals and then you start to see how they perform on the field. Game is on ESPN, by the way. Go watch it. You need to watch Najee Harris's hurdle. Most unbelievable play of the playoffs, right? Playoffs just started. Best play of 2021. All right, I get it. It was good. Check this out. Najee Harris in this game. You know how many yards he has? 79 yards. You know how many carries he has? Three. Three carries for 79 yards. The guy is unbelievable. For him to be left out of that Heisman table is a travesty. It's sad. It makes me mad because Najee Harris could have this award himself. And I was telling you just before that hurdle that he's playing his best football of the season. Three rushes, 79 yards. This is ridiculous. He's almost at 100 yards in this game. I knew this wouldn't be a good matchup for Notre Dame. I knew it. It's crazy. Guy is so good. This team is so good. This team has worked so hard. Notre Dame is not at this level. Notre Dame should not be in the playoffs. Who else should be in the playoffs? I don't know. Not Notre Dame, not Oklahoma, not Florida, not Georgia. Alabama's on a whole other level. It's crazy what this team has done. I'll be right back here on Bama Insider. Notre Dame starts their third possession of the first quarter. First two were punts. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Check this out. Alabama has 176 yards of offense in this game. Notre Dame has 43. Yeah, it's crazy. I appreciate all the super chats. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, 505. What's up, man? I appreciate it. Kyle, like, they're playing like they won't be denied. This team is on a mission. The quest for perfection is incredible. Yeah, I did. I did, Raider fan. I appreciate it, man. I'll be right back. All right, what's good, fam? Back right here on BamaInsider.com. Notre Dame's third possession, picking up some yards after Alabama up 14-0 in the first quarter. Number 23 for Notre Dame has 26 yards, and he had on 5 carries. 25 for Notre Dame has 27 yards receiving. Book is 2 of 3 in this game for 33 yards. Look, is the game over? No, it's not over. But I think we can at least appreciate what Alabama has done up into this point, right? They came out, buzzsaw. These guys didn't buy into the rat poison. Everybody talking about how this game is a mismatch. And sometimes that kind of feeds into that mentality. Alabama's not buying that, right? Nick Saban has these guys so dialed in, so laser focused, the eyes on the prize, the quest for perfection continues. Look, if you guys don't want to celebrate what Alabama's doing, that's on you. I'm celebrating the fact that these guys have had this mentality to be able to get to this point in an all SEC conference, and these guys are undefeated. We knew that these guys were going to get on top of Notre Dame. Are they going to blow them out? I don't know. Seems like it, right? It's already 14-0 in the first quarter. Notre Dame making a drive. I don't know if they're going to put points on the board. I'm sure they hope they do. Try to get an update on Malachi Moore. I see that someone's asking about Malachi. I appreciate it. Let me be right back and try to find out an update on Malachi. I'll hook up with my team writer, Tony Sukalis, who's in Dallas at the game. Be right back right here on Bama Insider. All right, back here on Bama Insider. I appreciate you guys staying with me during the game. Game is on ESPN. Biggest question I get is, am I streaming the game? No, not streaming the game. Providing commentary and providing a platform for people to get information about the game. So a lot of people, believe it or not, that don't have access to ESPN, or they might be, who knows where. So that's what we're doing. It's a watch along. It's a watch party. It's a celebration to get past 2020. It's a celebration to focus in on 2021. It's a celebration to appreciate what this Alabama Crimson Tide football team is doing. Mac Jones, 8 of 9, 97 yards and 2 touchdowns. Najee Harris, get this, 3 rushes, 79 yards in the first quarter. It's crazy. Devontae Smith, 2 receptions, 35 yards with a touchdown. There was a 26-yard kind of caught the football, made everybody miss, and got into the end zone. Notre Dame trying to get some sort of points on the game, facing a 3rd and 7. They put together, a nice drive up to this point, but they need points on the board if they want to stay competitive with the Crimson Tide, clearly, as Alabama's offense is showing no signs of slowing down. So it's going to be a short gain for Notre Dame. 2:16 left in the game. Remember, after this particular stream, we're going to have the post-game call-in show. You can call in. I'll take your calls and wrap with you right here on BamaInsider.com. What do you guys think so far? I mean, I asked you guys who you thought would be the MVP. I know a lot of people said Mac. I know a lot of people said Najee. I know a lot of people said Devontae. So far for me in this game, oh man, I guess Najee, right? I mean, it's crazy to think about, but I think I would have him, as my top performer thus far. Trying to get an update on Malachi Moore. Notice that he is not playing. Someone pointed that out in the broadcast. No update on Malachi just yet. You have Brian Branch in there, another freshman for Alabama. Notre Dame picks up a first down. This drive, 5 plays, 41 yards. Notre Dame has 2 timeouts remaining in this half. 1:31 remaining. Game is on ESPN. Ian Book with a pass that is incomplete. Trying to get a status update on Malachi Moore. No word yet. A lot of people asking about Malachi Moore. So as soon as I have an update on Malachi Moore, I will bring that to you right here on BamaInsider.com. Refresh that screen for you guys so you guys can get an updated look at the stat tracker. Great pressure. I love the heat that this defense has been bringing. Not only in this game, but I think, kind of that halfway point of the season, a lot of things have changed with that defense. You kind of look at the safety pressure coming in. I think that was Jordan Battle came on like a safety blitz kind of from that top end. Surprised he didn't get to the quarterback. 9-yard pickup for Notre Dame. It's going to be number 23. 23, K. Williams has 7 rushes for 43 yards. Nice move. Good running back. I really like what I've seen from this young man. Very talented. I think he's been playing, very tough. I knew that they were going to be able to try to, have some sort of time possession mentality in this game. Guy's good. Number 23 for Notre Dame. Excellent runner. Very shifty. Alabama up 14-0. Game is on ESPN. My name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. I appreciate you guys being here. No, I'm not. I appreciate you guys being with me. And Randall's like, quit asking about Malachi Moore. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying we don't have a status update on him. As soon as we have one, we'll bring that right to you on BamaInsider.com. Looks like we're getting close to the end of the first quarter. Bama up. I get you, Randall. It's all good. Bama up 14-0 on Notre Dame. We'll be right back here on BamaInsider.com. I appreciate you guys being here. I'll update the stat box, and we'll be right back here on Bama Insider. All right, back here on Bama Insider. I appreciate you guys being with me. This is the BamaInsider.com watch party, watch along, whatever you want to call it. Happy New Year to you, by the way. I hope you guys have a great 2021. I hope you guys dominate. I hope you have that Mamba mentality going into this year, and let's all have a productive year. I'm all about the positivity. Thank you very much for joining us. Watching the Rose Bowl between Alabama and Notre Dame. Game is on ESPN. If you're new here and you're like, where's the game at? This is just a celebration of the college football season. And after this stream, we'll have the post-game call-in show. I'll take your calls and comments. We'll talk about the Rose Bowl, kind of dissect what we learned, things that stood out. And we'll also have Nick Saban's press conference along with Brian Kelly. This has been a pretty good drive for Notre Dame. I think someone said it in the comment box. It's been a smart drive. I think, the drive right here, 10 plays, 63 yards. It's been, kind of a methodical approach, which Notre Dame is clearly going to need to do to stay in this game. I think points right here are an absolute must if they want a touchdown, breathe some life back into this game after the way that Alabama started. You look at it, it's kind of interesting. The last time that Alabama and Notre Dame played, what was it, in 2013 or something like that? Alabama started that game, I think it was 35-0 before Notre Dame started, putting some points onto the board. So, you look at this game, Alabama 14-0. I knew that they would get off to a hot start. I mean, that's what Alabama does. But I do like this drive from Notre Dame. I mean, so credit to them, for putting something together. Let's see if they can get any points off the board. Current drive is 11 plays for 66 yards and still trying to move the chain. It's going to be a 1st and goal for Notre Dame. Tackle made by Josh Jobe. 1st and goal. Thank you so much, Randall. I appreciate it. Yeah, DB, what's up? See you. It's been a long drive. And I think, overall, I think there's 2 updates that we're trying to get. It looks like Smitty's trying to get loose on the bike. Is Malachi Moore currently at that star position? It looks like it's Brian Branch who's been in there. See if Alabama can hold and force a field goal. Geez, Chris Allen just threw somebody to the ground. 2nd and goal. Thank you, Randall. Appreciate it. For Alabama. Ian Book for Notre Dame is just 3 of 5 for 37 yards. Number 23, K. Williams, 11 rushes for 55 yards. Number 24 has come out of the game with, looks like, some sort of an injury for Notre Dame. It's going to be another rush for no yards. Again, this drive is 13 plays, 72 yards. I mean, it's a long drive that has kept the Alabama defense on the field for a very long time. Nice little dump out from Book, but it's going to be a nice wrap up there from, looks like that was DeMarco Helms in Dylan Moses. Defensively for Alabama, leading tackler is going to be Josh Jobe. Remember, he had that big blow up in the very, opening play of the game. And then DeMarco Helms has 4 tackles. Christian Harris has 3 tackles. William Anderson has 2 tackles in this game. Notre Dame trying to put some points on the board right here. 13 plays, 72 yards. This is a long drive. It's impressive because you don't do this against the Alabama defense very often. So credit to Notre Dame for doing this. I mean, an absolute must that they get a touchdown on the board right here. And that would be demoralizing to work all this way down the field and not get any points. They're going to call a timeout right here. Didn't like what they saw. Looks like Ian Book's pretty frustrated. So it's going to be a 3rd and goal for Notre Dame. See if Alabama and Pete Golding can kind of reset and get that defense to step up and force a field goal. What has stood out to you so far in this game? Been kind of the offensive potency for me. You look at kind of the play of Mac Jones and what he's been able to do in, just 9 attempts, already 97 yards, 8 of 9 passing with 2 touchdowns. You look at the play of Najee Harris. I mean, 3 rushes for 79 yards. I mean, it's really incredible that he's almost eclipsed the 100-yard mark with only 3 rushes. I mean, it's kind of stupid to think about. The hurdle was like the hurdle heard around the world. Devontae Smith, 2 receptions for 35 yards. Longest was 26. That was a touchdown. Statistically, when you compare these 2 teams, Alabama has 176 yards of offense. Notre Dame has 112. Alabama has 97 passing yards. Rushing yards, they have 79. So you're seeing that balanced approach from Steve Sarkisian, um, which I think, has been something that we've seen all year long, right? A balanced approach. Now, this drive for Notre Dame, 13 plays, 72 yards. It's been a very good drive put together by the Notre Dame coaching staff. Now, it's imperative that they get a touchdown if they want to stay in this game, because I think it's clear that they're going to have trouble stopping Alabama. I mean, you look at Alabama's kind of their drives. We're on a commercial break right now on TV, at least. Game is on ESPN. The first drive for Alabama was 7 plays, 79 yards. Time of possession was just 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And then the second drive, which was also a touchdown, was 5 plays, 97 yards, and lasted just 2 minutes and 11 seconds. So you see kind of that quick strike approach from Alabama, which they do in the first half of these games. On the flip side for Notre Dame, they had 2 punts to open this game, which were in the first quarter. In this current drive, looks like they've settled in. It's a 13-play drive, 72 yards, and it's lasted 7 minutes and 15 seconds. And I think this had to be their game plan, right? Keep the Alabama defense on the field. But like we've seen in the past, I think it was Kentucky who really tried to take, time of possession and control it. I think they had the ball for like 12 minutes of that first quarter. And really, it didn't do much, because if you're not scoring touchdowns, then what difference does it make? Nick Saban even said that. He's like, time of possession is great, but you don't get any points for it. So that's kind of where I'm circling back to the fact that Notre Dame has to get a touchdown right here if they want to stay in this game. Appreciate the thumbs up. What's up, John? John Otto, roll tide to you, buddy. Corey's asking, why are we talking about the offense when it's not the problem? Hey, look, I'm just pointing out stats, I mean, you can point out stats as well. I just think that this is a good drive from Notre Dame. I mean, I'm trying to get an update as well on Malachi Moore, but looks like they're back in action. So we'll see what's going to happen and kind of how this drive transpires. It's going to actually be, looks like a 2-yard run. So Notre Dame is going to be facing 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. 14 plays, 74 yards is a drive. That was a good wrap up by the Alabama defense. Looks like Christian Barmore was involved in that, of course. Christian Barmore has been playing very good in this game. I knew he was a guy that Alabama was going to have to depend on this season and see how he's played throughout this entire year. I think he's a guy who goes to the NFL draft. He's only a redshirt sophomore. So it looks like they're going to maybe look at this play again. Huh. What do you think? Was he in the end zone? Sign off in the comment box. So it looks like, kind of where is the football? It looks like he comes down maybe just inches before. Not a touchdown, right? What do you guys think? We're going to review it. Looks like Notre Dame feels it's a touchdown. As they kind of zoom in, it's a kind of a hard angle because they keep showing it from this backside. It feels like it feels like the ball might have been in. I don't know. Every single time we watch these games, there's always a play that we haven't seen before that we have to kind of zoom in and slow down. And this looks like that's the play of this particular game. I don't know. He clearly falls in the end zone, but his butt was down before the rest of his torso was. Do you think it was a touchdown? But I got saying it was a touchdown. I think I might agree. Oh man. It's like inches. This is a long drive. Let's see what they're reviewing the play right now by Ian Book to see if the Notre Dame quarterback was in the end zone. I mean, he was. I think so too. Jackie's saying she thinks you saying it's a touchdown? Because I certainly think it's. I kind of feel now it's more a touchdown, but here's the official call. Let's see what it is. And they're really zooming in. A lot of pressure on this call. Again, 14 plays, 74 yards, and it's lasted a long time. It's lasted like 8 minutes or something like that. Here's the official call. Oh, they're going to say it stands. So 4th and goal. What's Notre Dame going to do right here? Wow. Try it again, Domers. Eric saying, what's up, Eric? I see you, man. Appreciate you joining us right here on Bama Insider. Thank you so much to everybody who has joined. Game is on ESPN, by the way. I've said that like 100 times. All right. So there's a touchdown. Okay. All right. So Notre Dame punches it in 15 plays, 75 yards, 8 minutes. That was a scoring drive capped off by a 1 yard touchdown. Credit to Notre Dame for driving down the field and punching it in. I mean, that was a very long, tantalizing drive to stop. I think they did a good job kind of mixing and matching, and they had to get points that drive. I mean, I think we've all seen kind of how Alabama's been that buzzsaw and been able to put points on the board in 2 quick scoring drives. So very important for Notre Dame to kind of get some life back into this game. And credit to them. I mean, that was a great job. Vodka drinker agrees. I agree. Fantastic job. That's what you got to do. But then again, you got to come up with some sort of plays to stop the Alabama offense, which you're going to see next. And, we'll see if they can maintain that. They're going to have to stop Alabama's red hot offense. We'll be right back here on BamaInsider.com. Randall. Randall's like, what channel's the game on? I'll be right back, fan. Happy New Year. All right, back here on Bama Insider. How crazy is this that Billingsley is Alabama's kick returner? He's a tight end, right? Have you ever seen a tight end return kickoffs? I never have. I mean, it's kind of interesting that Alabama likes to put some of their bigger players back to return punts. For example, they also had Brian Robinson. Usually, you kind of have these scab back type guys that return kicks that I think we're kind of accustomed to seeing in football, whether that's high school, college, pros, whatever. But Alabama likes to put kind of a bigger returner back there. I'd be curious to ask Nick Saban about that. I mean, and maybe that just shows that Billingsley has that much athleticism. Let's see what Alabama can do on this next series. These first 2 drives from Alabama have both been under 3 minutes, and they put points on the board. The last drive was from 97 yards out, and opens the drive with a run from Mac Jones for 6 yards. Kind of steps up in the pocket. Pocket was collapsing and makes a good decision to slide, get down, and 6 yards for Mac Jones. We don't see run a ton. I mean, if at all. I mean, I'm curious to see what Mac Jones' longest run of the season is, right? I kind of have to dig into that, but it's not like he's ripped off many runs. I mean, that's just not part of his style. So even to see him run for 6 yards is kind of strange. Passes complete to John Mechie for 3 yards. Mac Jones at this point of the game is 9 of 10, 100 yards with 2 touchdowns. I'm telling you, the efficiency, and a lot of that is because of the creativity from Steve Sarkisian, but it's highly effective. Remember last year, even 2 years ago, we saw Alabama really with these long strikes to kind of just selling the football to Smitty, to Jerry Jeudy, to Henry Ruggs. This year, we've kind of seen a more methodical approach with a lot of crossing patterns, short patterns to get the football to the skill guys, which is great. I love it. And then you have a play like, you did in the opening drive of the game where Smitty takes it 26 yards for a touchdown. Passes complete to Smitty for 24 yards. And Alabama is already moving past the midway mark. I mean, these guys, this offense is just ferocious. 14-7, 950. I love how they're getting the football out to Smitty right there. That's another kind of that's what we were just talking about, right? You kind of give him the football and let him do things in space. And Smitty's so dynamic, especially whether he's going up for a pass or whether, it's kind of the run after the catch. It's just he's got another level. He's got incredible top end speed. It's everything you want. Alabama with 5 wide now. Even Najee Harris split to the bottom of your screen. And it's going to be another completion to Billingsley for 15 yards. I love it. Good pass pro from Chris Owens. How did he catch that? Billingsley has 3 receptions for 35 yards. Devontae Smith has 3 receptions for 59 yards. Man, so tough for anybody to stop this Alabama offense. Geez, how did he catch that? Wow, just got one big paw to it. Boom, there it is. Another touchdown for the Alabama Crimson Tide. This time it's Devontae Smith. Again, a 34-yard touchdown from pass from Mac Jones. Scoring drive with 6 plays, 84 yards, 2 minutes and 21 seconds. It's unbelievable. You look at the scoring drives are all under 3 minutes. I mean, look at that. We just talked about his speed, right? The top end speed. Devontae Smith's in. Give him the Heisman Trophy. Is he hurt? Is he hurt? Hey, hold on, man. Oh, man. Looks like he kind of maybe like hurt his back a little bit. I don't like that. Look at Chris Owens in the back. Did you see that? What happened to Smith? Oh. I don't know. He fell on his back. He's got the back plate on. He's got butt pads. I mean, what? But you could tell it was his back or something. Huh. I don't like that. Nobody likes that. I think he's going to be okay. It looks like he's walking a little bit better, a little banged up on the side. 4 receptions, 93 yards in this game. Guys balling out of control. Mac Jones, 12 of 13, 173 yards with 3 touchdowns. Alabama up 21-7. We're going to track that. Devontae Smith looks like some sort of a back injury. Doesn't look too serious. I mean, he's walking, shaking hands with people. So that was just a slant pass that he caught across the middle of the field and took it to the house. Got tripped up kind of at the end and fell on his back. That was scary with him being down, right? Alabama up 21-7. I'll update the scoreboard right here. Crimson Tide rolling in Arlington at the Rose Bowl. Be back right here on BamaInsider.com. All right, what's going on, everyone? Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Most commonly asked question today from Colin: why can't you show the actual game? Well, because it's illegal, and I can't show the game because of broadcasting rights that are copyright from ESPN. So they would shut down the channel if we did if we stream the game here. So the game is on ESPN. Hey, they bought the rights to these games, and that's kind of how these things work. So that's all we can do is kind of talk about the game, provide some insight and analysis as the game happens. But go check it out on ESPN. And then after this particular stream, we'll be right back here on BamaInsider.com with the post game show. Take your calls and comments, and I want to get everyone's take on that Najee Harris hurdle. I mean, I think when you look kind of back at plays that jump out, that's certainly one for me. And let's see what and no worries, Colin. I appreciate it. Everybody always asks that. Man, if I could stream the game, I would, man. Are you kidding me? And imagine the views if I could show the game. But I can't. So, it's out of my control. What I can control is just being here with you, providing some, commentary, sticking with you guys. And it looks like Jeff Allen is working with Devontae Smith. And, hopefully we can get a status update on him. Didn't look too serious. Looks like he landed on his back. I think John Otto in the comment box pointed that out. It was on his back, not his hip. So I think he's going to be okay. The last drive for Notre Dame was great. They're talking about Devontae Smith now. Hold on. I think he's going to be okay. As I was saying, the last drive from Notre Dame was a very well put together drive. It was 15 plays, 75 yards, and it took 8 minutes to put together. You saw what Alabama is able to do in just minutes. You look at the time of possession for Alabama on their scoring drives: 236, 211, 221. Quick strike offense. Notre Dame, let's see if they can get back into this game. I thought it was a kind of a good mixing and matching, if you will, from Notre Dame in this last drive. And credit to them for putting something together. Time of possession overall, I think, is something that we could look at right now. Alabama has had the ball for just 7 minutes and 14 seconds of this game, as compared to Notre Dame, who has had the ball 13 minutes and 57 seconds. So we kind of look back to that time control, the time of possession. Good pressure from Alabama. Nice dump off from Ian Book, and Alabama allows another first down from Notre Dame. Book in this game is 6 of 8 for 56 yards. His counterpart for Alabama, Mac Jones, 12 of 13 for 173 yards. Sorry about that, guys. Quick technical error. Had a quick error, but I'm back. Sorry about that. Internet. Let's see where we're at. Notre Dame trying to put something together. 5 plays, 18 yards on this drive, facing 3rd and 8 from the Notre Dame 43-yard line. This is another important drive. I mean, every single drive is important, but I think in terms of maintaining momentum, this is something that Notre Dame has to get points out of the board. I mean, the best case, I guess, would, obviously be a touchdown, but even if they can get 10 points, before they go into that halftime break or whatever, that's going to be something for momentum sake, because I think Alabama, they'll be able to just come right back and put points on the board again and again and again. I think our biggest question right now is what's kind of the status update on Devontae Smith after he has some sort of it looks like a minor back injury, and very, very minor, like minuscule. So I think he's going to be okay. We'll learn that out, learn more probably on the next drive. And then, of course, probably at halftime when they've had maybe a better chance to evaluate him, but it didn't seem too serious. Basically scored a touchdown, was, kind of landed on his back awkwardly, not even awkwardly. It was just, it happens. Big breakup. So Notre Dame's going to have to punt and give Alabama, 5 minutes and 48 seconds to work with before the halftime break. Notre Dame up 21-7. And, let's see what Alabama's offense can do. I think they're going to go right down the field and put more points on the board. They've been great. Jeez. Nice hit, Dylan Moses. good to see him playing. I mean, I have to kind of, look back. Oh, look, Devontae Smith's back there. He's okay. Right? Okay, that's a good sign. Now we can all kind of rest easy. Yeah. Hey, John, I agree with this right here. Dylan Moses, having a good game. I think that's important for, him. And um, it's good to see him because I don't think he's had the season we all expected him to. Look, expectations are going to be high on all these guys, but when you have a player like Dylan Moses, kind of that alpha of the defense, not performing to what we thought he would, it's not. I don't want to say it's a disappointment because it's not. I mean, people have different seasons, but I mean, just expected more from him. In this game, he has 3 tackles. Truth be told, he's actually leading the team in tackles, just ahead of Christian Harris. I think they both have over 70 tackles. So Dylan Moses is still leading the team on tackles, but nothing like the play of him from, that we saw during his sophomore season, right? All right, so let me update this. So we got 5:48 before halftime. Alabama will have plenty of time to work with. I mean, you look at kind of their drives in this particular game. Let me get those statistics. The first drive of the game, it was 6 minutes and 84 seconds. It was a touchdown. And then 5 plays, 97 yards. It was another touchdown. And then 7 plays, 79 yards. Notre Dame has had 3 punts in this game. And then, of course, their very long drive, which put points on the board. So, it's kind of – I figured the game would go like this. I figured – I didn't expect, Najee to just only have 3 rushes for 79 yards. And I think what I'm seeing in this particular game is if Alabama is able to put another touchdown on the board, which I think they will before halftime, you're going to see Najee probably hit the 200-yard mark. And I'll tell you why. Alabama, what they're able to do is they're able to kind of take the air out of the second half of these games. So let's say they go into the break 28-7. Okay. They come out, they're going to get the football back. Then you're going to start to see Alabama kind of methodically end this game, go into their big, imposing running backs, Najee Harris, Brian Robinson. And then you're going to see Jace McClellan rip off a 80-yard touchdown run, right? The freshmen at Alabama are so ridiculous. It's incredible. But we'll see. It's a long way to play. And Notre Dame can make some changes. But I think the way that Alabama is playing right now, it's such a high level. And I love seeing that from these guys because I think, we all felt that Alabama was just this big favorite, and they're still not covering the spread right now. They're up by 14, and the spread is 19. Someone tell me how I can watch the Batman game for free. I think Kellen, what's up? Someone tell me how to watch the Batman game for free on YouTube. The game is on ESPN. There might be some other channels streaming it, but ESPN shuts those channels down because of copyright notices. So we've talked about that a lot, during this particular video stream. So this isn't the game. I'm just talking about the game. And thanks for joining us right here on BamaInsider.com. Najee Harris with another nice run in this game. 4 rushes for 86 yards. It's going to go back to Najee Harris for another 3 yards. So now 5 rushes for 89 yards. I mean, who would have thought that? Because usually you don't see Najee hit that 100-yard mark even until, the third quarter for whatever reason. I mean, Alabama just adds on so many touchdowns in that first half of the game. So, to see him with 89 yards, that's why I said I feel confident that he's going to get past 150 at least, maybe even 200 yards in this game. Devontae Smith, Alabama's leading receiver, 4 receptions for 93 yards with 2 touchdowns. Nick Saban looks calm, cool, poised. The guy right behind him, Cedric, is awesome. I've seen him many times at the Malmore facility, kind of in the old days when I would go to Alabama to watch practices. He's kind of like Nick Saban's right-hand man. He's the guy literally who puts the Coke on the podium. You guys have seen that, right? So how that works, like the Coke on the podium and the water bottle, literally they send Cedric, who you just saw behind Nick Saban. He comes on and he just puts the Coke there, or the water bottle. He always puts a cold, it's the same Coke bottle, but it's a different Dasani water bottle, which is cold. So when Saban comes off the practice field, he has a nice cold Dasani water waiting for him. Kind of behind the scenes on the water bottle. All right. Notre Dame still trying to figure out how to stop this buzzsaw of offense. The Crimson Tide has 3 minutes and 48 seconds to work with before halftime, 21-7. For halftime, I'll leave the scoring drive on the screen. I'm going to go have lunch, and then I'll come back and finish this out. And then after this stream, we have the post-game call-in show right here on Bama Insider, and then we can all watch together the Clemson and Ohio State game. Man, love the shake from Najee. All right, so Alabama's going to be facing 3rd and 7. Look at Jalen Waddle talking with Bryce Young. He's like, man, if I was out there, I'd have put 100 yards up already. Yeah, 25 receptions this year, 557 yards. We'll see if he gets on the field in the championship game. I'd love to see that. I think it'd be kind of a great exclamation point to this season. Third and 7 for Alabama. And it's going to be complete to Devontae Smith. Thank goodness he's healthy, and that's a first down. Devontae Smith in this game, 5 receptions, 101 yards with 2 touchdowns. The Heisman Trophy winner, right? They tried to bracket Devontae Smith, and he's able to kind of find an open spot, come back to the football. They teach you that, and Pop Warner does such a great job coming back to the football. I love that about wide receivers who are smart, who know the down and distance, right? Who know how to come back to the ball, who now know how to get off press coverage. Devontae Smith checks all those boxes and more because he's just, look at Najee. God, it's like in 4-wheel drive. Now up to 7 carries for 93 yards, so almost at the 100-yard mark right here in this half. 2 minutes and 12 seconds. See what Alabama can get some points on the board. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are having a fantastic January 1. How nice does it feel just to be out of 2020? I feel like I went for a walk today. So I woke up in Tuscaloosa, it was 70 degrees today. I'm serious. It was amazing. I went out, took a walk, got my head together, did some meditation, talked to my parents. Look at this. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? I don't like that. These trick plays for Alabama, I don't like them at all. They're too good for plays like that. They don't need trickery. They just need to, stick to the bread and butter. Feed Najee, open up the passing game, go to Devontae Smith. It's kind of interesting, though, that other than Devontae Smith, you don't have another wide receiver. Or actually, you have Slade Bolden, who's caught 1 reception for 8 yards. John Mechie, 1 reception for 3 yards. But do you see, like, all the production and the targeting is going to Devontae Smith, who's been targeted 5 times. Each of those times he's caught the football. That's why I was so worried when, Devontae Smith looked like he was somewhat shaken up. I don't like this drive right here. I don't like that call, the reverse or whatever it was. 3rd and 12. We'll be right back here on Bama Insider. All right, back here on Bama Insider. We're getting close to the halftime break. So Auburn lost again. I mean, are you guys surprised? I kind of, to be honest, look, I just to Northwestern, like no disrespect to the Wildcats because I think they have a good defense, but I mean they have zero offense. I mean, I watched them against Ohio State, and man, I was just like, geez, these guys have no offense. How are they going to stick in this game? I mean, they played well against Ohio State, but they just had no offense. So I haven't even seen that score. I've been kind of focused on this game. Let me look it up real quick. Oh, they lost 35-19. Man, what a train wreck. Those guys, right? I mean, it's just really kind of the trajectory of their team, their program, everything that kind of happened. We'll see if they can turn around in 2021. I have no idea. Hopefully everything turns around in 2021, but maybe not Auburn football, right? Getting close to the halftime break, Alabama kind of with a strange drive. I mean, Alabama's been doing a great job. Steve Sarkisian's been doing a great job. These guys have been playing lights out. But this particular drive, which we're on right now, had some sort of weird reverse in it that didn't go anywhere. And now Alabama's facing a 3rd and 12. It's been a very, very long TV timeout. Oh, here's the update on Malachi Moore. It looks like Malachi Moore was banged up in practice. So, and, so we'll get an update from Nick Saban. And he was banged up in practice. So that's kind of the gist of it. Score is 21-7. Gino, what's up? Appreciate you being here. The scoreboard, I'll keep it updated as much as I can, or through the entire game. 3rd and 12, and looked like that could have been a maybe a pass interference. That was a strange series for Alabama. I didn't like that. 21-7. I thought they should have got some points out of that. I didn't like the play call. Looks like even Steve Sarkisian was a little bit frustrated. So Alabama's going to punt the football. Did it look like he was kind of holding Mechie there as well? I don't know. It sounded like it to me. Here we go. You got Charlie Scott, who was a transfer from Air Force to Alabama. Got a special 1-year military waiver to be at Alabama, and he's been doing a good job. Wow, what a punt, right? Out of the 10. Notre Dame's going to have 44 seconds to try to put something together. We'll see what they can do, but it's 21-7 right here. Be right back here on Bama Insider. And that's what I was talking about right there. As you saw with Ian Book is able to kind of extend that play because, I mean, he's just a great athlete. So what was that? It was a run for 9 yards. Now it's an incompletion. So looking at 37 seconds, 2nd and 1 for Notre Dame right before halftime. And they got I think, a great moment kind of when we look back, my goodness, that's a long run, is that punt from Charlie Scott. Right? That was another run for Ian Book for 20 yards. So he's ran for 39 yards in this game. You've seen kind of these quarterbacks who can extend plays and who are athletes and, and the worst part is when you have a quarterback that can do that and the team also goes tempo. Now, Notre Dame is not a team that does the tempo, but when you play a team that has a quarterback that can do this and goes tempo, that's when you see Alabama have trouble because it's hard for anybody to stop. 26 seconds left. Pass incomplete. Alabama maintaining a 21-7 lead over Notre Dame. That's going to be a big completion. That's going to be for 20 yards downfield. Wow. What a shot. 19 seconds to go. They put points on the board here. I mean, a field goal, Alabama still goes in with a lot of momentum. But if they score a touchdown here, I don't like that. I don't think anybody's going to like it. Look at that. That's Brian Branch. So Alabama is getting taken advantage of at the star position. Remember, Malachi Moore looks like he was dinged up at practice or something like that. We'll get an update from Saban when we can. But they're certainly picking on Brian Branch, who's also a freshman, and Alabama now getting spread out a little bit. Have to get some pressure on the quarterback. What a play from Book. Shovel pass going to be complete. Yeah. Marty, I agree that, that trick play, whatever it was for Alabama with a reverse. Why? Like, why? I don't get. I get you do that, for you're down some points, you need some momentums, but I kind of look at that play. You took points off the board. I mean, I look to that particular play and I don't like it, and it's hard because we all like what Steve Sarkisian does. And now you have Notre Dame, believing that they can put some points on the board right before halftime. Got to get to the quarterback. Got to make a play. Ian Book in this game, 9 of 12, 76 yards. Kay Williams, 14 attempts for 56 yards. Book has 39 yards rushing. It looks like you look to the Alabama sideline. They don't have any energy right now, right? Notre Dame has a little bit of momentum. I think the game, as you know, we've all watched the game. One team has a momentum, the other team doesn't. Clearly, Notre Dame has a tiny bit of momentum in this game. If they can score a touchdown here, that's going to say a lot. 4th and 3 for Notre Dame. Pass was complete to Kay Williams for 8 yards. Almost at the halftime break. I'll be right back in the third quarter as well. You guys enjoy yourself from halftime, get something to eat. We'll come back, feel fresh. We'll finish this out. Nick Saban's starting to get upset on the sidelines. Brian Kelly feeling like they can do something. 4th and 3 for Notre Dame. Notre Dame, I mean, and it looks like it's going to be 51-yarder right here. Let's see what they could do. You guys are ahead of me inside the comment box, and it's going to be missed. Is it going to be missed? It's a long field goal. Missed it. Not even close. Okay, so we're going to go into the halftime break. Alabama up 21-7 at the halftime break. I'll be right back here on BamaInsider.com. Good vibes in 2021. I appreciate you guys being here with me right here on BamaInsider.com. Someone was saying it was a partial block. Someone got a paw in there? Oh, looks like it was a Terminator. William Anderson, right? That's what they call him. Steve Sarkisian, sometimes, from what I heard, can't even run plays at practice sometimes because William Anderson, the freshman, is so disruptive. It's crazy. It was a decent drive by Notre Dame, but they couldn't get it in. Let me run over some halftime stats for you guys real quick here on BamaInsider.com, and then I'll head to the halftime break. Alabama up 21-7. Key stats for Alabama: Mac Jones, 14-16, 182 yards with 3 touchdowns. Najee Harris, 7 rushes, 93 yards. Devontae Smith, 5 receptions for 101 yards. Alabama has 279 yards of offense to Notre Dame's 189. Defensively speaking, Josh Jobe has 5 tackles. DeMarco Hellams has 5 tackles as well. William Anderson, 4 tackles, and it looks like he had some sort of a, blocked field goal there at the end. But Alabama up 21-7. I don't think we all liked how that last drive ended for Alabama, but other than that, Alabama's shown that they are a buzzsaw. So Alabama will get the football when we get back in the third quarter. I'm going to go have some lunch, late lunch, whatever you call it, and then we'll come back, finish it out right here on Bama Insider. Hey, what's up, everybody? Back here on BamaInsider.com. Halftime right now of the Rose Bowl. Alabama up 21-7 on Notre Dame. I think when you kind of dive into this game, clearly Alabama left some points on the board in that second quarter. I think that, the last drive that Alabama had just didn't have a good rhythm towards it, right? Look at Alabama, their first three drives of that half: touchdown, 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 and then a punt. Now, the punt was a great punt by Charlie Scott. I mean, if Alabama doesn't flip the field like that, who knows? Maybe Notre Dame has a 41-yard field goal instead of a 51-yard field goal. Now, Notre Dame's been able to move the ball somewhat in this game. Their results, drive-wise: punt, touchdown, punt, and then a field goal attempt. The field goal was missed. In the game, Notre Dame has 189 yards of offense, 84 yards passing, and 105 yards rushing. Mac Jones for Alabama, as we've spoken about, having a great game. 14 of 16, 182 yards, 3 touchdowns. And get this. His quarterback rating right now, 244.9. And that's what we talked about kind of at the beginning of this game, is how he's so efficient, right? That's kind of been something that he's been able to do this entire season. And I think a lot goes back to kind of the offensive philosophy of Steve Sarkisian. You have a highly efficient quarterback that doesn't need to just throw the ball downfield every single time. You kind of get the ball to your receivers in space and kind of let them do their thing, which we've seen in this game. I mean, Devontae Smith, be interesting to see how many yards after the catch he has, because I think, he had that 26-yard run, which is for a touchdown, and he had another, long run. So his average is 20.2, but a lot of that is after the catch. Status update on Malachi Moore. A lot of people asking about Malachi Moore. Let's see. I think we just got something in from our team writer, Tony Sokalis. Give me a second. Okay, so this is from actually his mom on social media, believe it or not. Malachi is a little injured. He may or may not play, but he's on the sidelines training for his brothers. Thanks for asking, and pray for healing. That's all. Now, earlier in the game, we had heard that he was a little banged up in practice. We don't know what type of injury. I'm sure, we'll ask Nick Saban after the game, what type of injury, does he have? How serious is it? Because I think, missing Malachi Moore, I know he's only a freshman, but the kid is unbelievable. And the kid plays lights out. So if he's if he's not been able to, come back and contribute, I mean, it's going to be detrimental to the defense, especially this time of year, right? You want all your guys playing at the highest level, and for a freshman to go down, I mean, it's something that we're going to continue to track. Be right back here on Bama Insider. Appreciate you guys joining me. This is the watch party celebration of the college football season to open up 2021. Kyle Henderson, Bama Insider. I'll be right back. Hey, what's up, guys? So I think this is something that I'll kind of at some point pin or kind of keep referring to. So the second half is about to start, but everybody's asking about Malachi Moore. According to his mom, he was injured. He's a little bit injured. They're not sure that he's going to play. She asked for continued prayers. I think he's going to be fine, but it looks like it was some sort of a practice injury. So we'll ask Nick Saban after the game right here. So um, we'll keep you guys posted, and we'll have Nick Saban's press conference uploaded to our channel, of course, as we do after every single game. Notre Dame about to kick off right here in the second half of this game. Alabama up 21-7. Curious to see how Alabama's offense comes out. You look kind of the momentum, what was said at halftime, what type of adjustments were made. Can this team continue what they started in the beginning of this game? I mean, there was like a buzzsaw at the beginning, right? You look at the drives that were so quick, 3 scoring drives that were under 3 minutes. And then they had that last drive that, things just didn't go well, didn't have a lot of rhythm. And now we're at that point where it's 21-7. Start off the drive with a Najee Harris rush. It's going to be for 2 yards in this game. Najee Harris is 5 yards short of 100 yards. It means he has 95 yards. And it's going to be a 2nd and 8 for Alabama, in the second half of this game. I'm wondering if any other wide receiver, will step up between this playoff game and, potentially the championship game, because, maybe will it be Billingsley? Will it be Mechie? I mean, you don't see like another wide receiver. Like, I think what I'm trying to say is, like, when you had Jalen Waddle, you had guys, 2 guys that were so dangerous. But in this kind of particular set, it's just like Devontae Smith. And I'm not saying they're forcing it, because, he's connected with, 6 different receivers in this game. But it's just kind of a different level. You get what I mean, right? Receiver wise. But Billingsley's been a great addition. What a catch. See, that catch right there that you just saw for 22 yards that now has Devontae Smith at 6 receptions for 123 yards. That's the type of reason, and that's why he deserves the Heisman Trophy. Look, goes up, high points the football. He floats in the air. He literally was floating in the air. It was unbelievable, right? Look, that's why I believe, so when you're kind of looking at that, someone was shaking their head. They were like, that was ridiculous. And it is. I mean, was it the best ball thrown? I don't know. I mean, he put it to where only Devontae Smith could get it. But it's going to be impossible for, these two not to split the votes for Heisman, because, you look at the efficiency for Mac Jones, and then you look at what Devontae Smith does. It's unbelievable. I mean, these guys, the vibe that these guys have, I mean, the ability for Devontae Smith to go up and high point the football like that, floating through the air, it was crazy. You guys saw that. It was unbelievable. Let me update this scoreboard. 21-7, third quarter. Alabama with the football, cross the 50. It's going to be a completed pass to Najee Harris for 5 yards. Looks like Mac Jones didn't like what he saw downfield, checked down, and was able to distribute the football to Najee Harris. I mean, and it's always amazing to me, week after week, that Mac Jones is always like 16 of 18, 18 of 20. It's so hard to be efficient at any level. And that's one thing that always stands out to me. I mean, it's so important for quarterbacks to be efficient, to avoid turnovers. And Mac Jones does that. He's done that all season long. Najee Harris with a gain of, it's going to be 6 yards. Another Alabama first down. I like the drive, I like the tempo. This drive, see where we're at right here. In terms of numbers, it's a 5-play, 38-yard drive to open up the third quarter. 12 minutes and 45 seconds in the third quarter. Winner will advance to the national championship game. How about that? I mean, there was so many times and so many people that thought that we'd never even get to the championship game or even have the college football season, and here we are. That's why I love celebrating it. I love talking about the game. I love just talking about football, because, I mean, that was a drop by Najee Harris. Yeah, he just dropped it. Uncharacteristic drop from Najee. Remember, he's a rideout. That's what he said. Remember, you guys saw the clip posted on our channel right here. It looks like he was running before he caught the football. Happens to the best of them. Clearly, got to catch the football, secure it. Not a big deal. They'll come back. Now it's going to be a loss of 1 yard from Najee Harris. Notre Dame's playing a little bit better. I think they're doing a good job kind of facilitating and kind of vibing off that momentum that they ended with the first half. So Alabama now facing a 3rd and 11. And to be honest, I mean, at 21-7, I think this game is a little bit even closer than I thought it would be at this point. But then again, Alabama can strike so quickly. So you never know how many points they're going to put on the board because they can just score, within plays. It's going to be an incomplete pass. So it's going to be 4th and 11. So Alabama's going to have to punt in this opening drive. See, the thing about it, and the thing about this game is, how is Notre Dame going to counter? Because I don't think they can go vertical on Alabama. They're going to have to put together one of those other drives that last like 15 plays or whatever. Are they going to be able to do it? I don't know. But if they do, I mean, they're clearly back in this game. And they still have the momentum that they kind of took from halftime. These guys feel that they can play with Alabama. And clearly they are playing with Alabama. I think they're getting, not so much heat to Mac, but, they got the hands up, the batted pass, athletic play for Mac to see that and to catch the ball. That's a weird play. And I guess that goes down as an incompletion, which is weird because he caught the ball, right? 16 of 20 in the game, 209 yards, 3 touchdowns. Another great punt from Charlie Scott. Be right back here on Bama Insider. What's up, guys? Back here on Bama Insider. Notre Dame coming out with their first possession of the third quarter. Handoff to 23, who's been rather effective in this game. 56 yards in that first half with one touchdown. Book has 39 yards rushing for a total of 105 yards rushing from Notre Dame's offense. Now, we haven't seen Notre Dame do too much in regards to passing, only 90 yards passing in this game from Book. They don't have a lot of vertical threat. That's something that we've talked about before. Like, how are they going to move the football down the field if they're not nickeling and diming? Because I don't think these guys have the receivers to stretch the field. Now, I'm kind of concerned a little bit. Now, you guys help me out. Look, Brian Kelly clearly got this team fired up, right? Going to keep pounding on the door. You guys heard the press conference. However, when I watched Clemson versus Notre Dame, I thought Clemson completely dominated this Notre Dame team. Now, look, everybody has a bad night, but Clemson dominated Notre Dame on all facets of the game. I mean, they had no offense. I mean, they were everywhere. So, is Alabama playing their best game right now? I wouldn't say so. I mean, the numbers are still there. But this is something that we talked about. And even I was listening to Mick's show with Chris Lowe. And Chris Lowe is saying that, Alabama has to play their worst game. Notre Dame has to play their best game for it to be even close. Is that what is happening now? Maybe so. I mean, they're not playing a terrible game by any means. But I do look at kind of some of the offensive play calling here from that last drive before halftime to the third quarter, and I don't really like it. It doesn't seem as fluid. That's going to be tough to stop Book when he can do things like that. That's a 3-yard run. So kind of just looking at those, different statistics and kind of analyzing the game a little bit. I don't think that Alabama's playing a bad game at all. I'm not saying that. I just think some of the rhythmic, offensive schemes haven't been what we were accustomed to from the beginning of this game. Happens. I think they'll get back and be dialed in, but this is a very important possession. And I think the only way, I mean, here you have Notre Dame spreading the field 5 wide, and there you go. It's a completion. That's effective. I mean, there was nobody within a couple yards of that big man, number 87. They call him Baby Gronk, I guess. That's what the TV broadcast just said. Michael Myers. Remember Michael Myers from Halloween? I'd hate to have that name. It's kind of a ho-hum game, though, right? It's kind of lost some energy. And it's weird for Alabama fans, I think, probably to, see a game where it's not kind of off the rails. But look, we're at the playoffs. These guys had the best coaching. Nice wrap-up. PS2, Patrick Surtain. Notre Dame's going to be facing a 2nd and 7, 6-play drive, 27 yards. I'm going to miss watching Patrick Surtain. I don't think we appreciate what he does at Alabama enough. I know maybe I don't. But in terms of having like a corner that can come up, lay the wood, he's a very good open field tackler. When I look at the Pro Football Focus grades overall, he's one guy that certainly stands out because he can tackle so well in open space. Book back to pass again. 3 wide receivers split to the bottom of your screen. Good pass protection from Notre Dame's offensive line, and there you go. Picked. It's going to be intercepted by Christian Harris. Now, the thing about Christian Harris, I think a lot of people forget this. The guy didn't even play inside linebacker at the high school level. He played corner and receiver. He's like 235 pounds. Now, that was a bad pass by Book, but the point is he's a playmaker, right? Knows how to read the football. He's an athlete. Hopefully this can be a big kind of spur right now to change the momentum of this game because Alabama certainly needed something like this to happen. Christian Harris with the pick. Love to play. Be right back on Bama Insider. All right, back here on Bama Insider. Game is on ESPN. Thank you for joining me. This is the BamaInsider.com watch along, the watch party, whatever you want to call it. Thank you very much for joining. We appreciate you. Alabama back on offense, and Mac Jones going right to John Mechie for a monster pickup. And that's what I'm talking about, kind of distributing the football, to somebody else. Like who else is going to step up? And we saw that right there from John Mechie, and that was a 40-yard completion. And, a lot of this is kind of the run after the catch. You look at Mechie's, you get the great downfield block. And look at that. Smitty's like, come behind me. I mean, the great thing about Smitty is he's such a great downfield stock blocker. I love how he's like leading the way in terms of blocking. I mean, the guy does everything right. Such a team player, and it's a big connection for Alabama. Alabama right in the red zone. Be monumental at this point of the game to put another touchdown on the board. So let's see what Alabama can do right here. Looks like they got great pass pro, and looks like Najee got lit, and there's a flag. Let's see what happened right there. It's going to be Alabama holding on Chris Owens. Chris Owens is the center who took place of Landon Dickerson after he's suffered a season-ending injury against Florida. That's going to be, I believe, for the most part, there hasn't been too many penalties in this particular game. That was actually the first penalty, if you can believe it, in this game. I was looking for that stat. I mean, other than that, it's been a very fluid game. One penalty in this game for 10 yards. I mean, I can't believe that was the first penalty. Wow. It came in the third quarter with 6 minutes and 50 seconds, right? Alabama will be backed up now, facing a 1st and 20. And Alabama has Slade Bolden, Miller Forrest all split up top. You also have John Mechie and Devontae Smith to the bottom of your screen on the television. Najee Harris in the backfield. 6:45 left before the fourth quarter. Winner advances to the national championship, right? I mean, you can see it. It's in sight. Alabama just has to hang on to this victory. Putting points on the board, certainly what they want. This drive started following a Christian Harris interception, which was kind of looked at turning points in games, kind of what got momentum back. We can point to that one. That was a nice pick by Christian Harris. Little dump off to Najee Harris. Najee Harris is going to get up to the sideline, stiff arms a young man, and then it's going to get to the sideline. It was a gain of 10 for Najee Harris, who now has 30 yards receiving in the game to tack on to his 103 yards of rushing. So he has, 130, 39, 140 total yards in this game, Najee Harris, following that beastly performance against Florida, right? Alabama in total, 364 yards of offense. Little handoff to Najee Harris. Take the air out of the game. 6 yards for Najee. Now up to 109 yards rushing. Alabama is going to be facing a 3rd and 4. You look at the big block by Emil Ekiyor. So don't forget about Emil Ekiyor. Very talented offensive lineman. He's going to be a guy who's returning next year. You kind of look to filling that, who's going to fill that offensive line next year, missing Landon Dickerson, Alex Leatherwood, Deontay Brown. Emil Ekiyor is going to be certainly a guy along with Evan Neal. So Alabama will return 2 of their 5 offensive linemen. And here's Mac Jones. Wow. Is that his longest drive of the game? Oh, man, that was a weird slide. What was he doing? That was weird. I think it might have been like kind of the turf or something like that. Did he twist his ankle? Oh my goodness. Ouch. Looks like he's going to be all right, though, because the next play comes back and throws a touchdown. Devontae Smith from Mac Jones is a 5-play, 62-yard drive. 2 minutes and 29 seconds. Alabama scores a vital touchdown here in the third quarter to make it 28-7 with 4 minutes and 58 seconds remaining. Remember, you kind of look, wow, what a catch. Tiptoeing to the sideline. That's Devontae Smith's 3rd touchdown of this game. Give him the Heisman. Just give it to him. Mac Jones is 20 of 23 in this game, 258 yards, 4 touchdowns. Give it to him. 5-play drive, 62 yards, 2 minutes and 29 seconds on the board. Quick strike drive. Alabama up 28-7 in this game. Throws the rope. Devontae Smith has the foot in bounds, tiptoes, and Alabama with another strike. The Slim Reaper, the Golden Gazelle, whatever you want to call him. You can also call him the Heisman Trophy winner, right? Devontae Smith with his third touchdown. You kind of look to Rose Bowl MVPs. I think you got to give it to probably Devontae Smith at this point, right? The guy's unbelievable. What he's able to do. So much talent on this team. I'm kind of worried about Mac Jones and how he kind of dove into the ground. That was weird. Alabama 28, Notre Dame 7. We'll be right back here on BamaInsider.com. What's up, Lenny? Appreciate it, man. I'm here. And just think about it, man. I'm like talking for 3.5 hours, and then I got the post game show after this. So it's like, basically I'm talking for 5 hours, which I don't mind. I love it. But it's like I kind of dip out and I just kind of watch the game by myself. And I have like, my studio, I have it set up so I just watch the game. So that's kind of, maybe I'll give you guys like a behind the scenes tour one day if you guys are interested. Kind of see all the moving, pieces on Bama Insider. But I appreciate you guys being here. But if you, for example, if you see the screen like this, it might mean I'm like, taking a quick time out, having some late night coffee, whatever it is. All right. Alabama with a roughing the passer call. There's a second penalty of this game. That was on Byron Young. Notre Dame's going to have first and 10 from the Notre Dame 44. Yeah, that was a big penalty. He's going to push him near the 50-yard line. It's still amazing to me. There's only 2 penalties in this game, right? All right. Christian Barmore with the monster sack. Jeez. You have a play that, is 15 yards forward and then you go 14 yards back. Talk about frustrating from Notre Dame's perspective. Here's Christian Barmore. My goodness, he just plays like such a man on fire. I love every single thing about his game. And that right there, if you look kind of towards it, he planted Book into the ground. The thing about him is he's got kind of that bull rush, how he's able to kind of just slice through offensive linemen. And that's why I feel he's going to go to the NFL, you know? I mean, he's just so tough to deal with. You imagine Barmore falling on you? No thanks. I mean, talk about pain. Ouch. Great play by Barmore. Great play by Christian Harris. In the last drive, coming up with the interception. Now you're starting to see that defense kind of come to. You can point to, look, Book's down. Look, I'm telling you, nobody wants to be fallen on by anybody, but especially not Christian Barmore. I think the ball even kind of got stuck like right in his diaphragm to where Christian Barmore fell on him. Hopefully he was okay. That was a big hit. Look at this. Ouch. Yeah, you kind of look to where, if you've ever played football, you have your shoulder pads right here. They come right here. And then you have the ball, which was like right under his diaphragm. And then when he fell, it's like Christian Barmore. And then the weight of the pads right there. I mean, you could be looking at some bruised ribs, hopefully nothing serious. So be right back here on Bama Insider. My name is Kyle Henderson. Please hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Be right back. And then after the show is the after party right here on January 1st. We're doing it the post-game call-in show. You can call in, sound off. I'll take your calls and comments coming up after the show on a different stream, but same channel right here at Bama Insider. Be right back. All right, back here. Ouch. Keep on showing that replay. Brian Kelly fired up about on his at his offensive lineman. Look, that's what are you gonna do regarding Christian Barmore? My goodness, I mean he's a should be taken off in the NFL draft. He's a redshirt sophomore at Alabama, and there's Tim Smith, the freshman interior defensive lineman for Alabama as well. Time in this game. Oh, it's going to be Drew Payne. He's a freshman from Connecticut. 5'11", 194. Oh, my goodness. Yikes. This dude is, I mean, this guy looks like he's 10 years old. 3rd and 23. It's going to be a 7-yard pass, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 16. Yikes. Hopefully Book's okay. I don't know. I mean, we'll try to find a status update. If they say it on the broadcast, let me know, because I have the volume turned down on my end. It's going to be a 4th and 16. They're going to be punting to the Slim Reaper. Last time I had this game tracker that I'm showing you guys right here, it updated automatically. But now this time I've had to refresh it, which is kind of a pain because it's like another thing that I have to do. I do a lot of like the graphics and kind of all this stuff at the same time. So, sometimes I might kind of stumble over my words or say something. It's kind of like I have to lose my train of thought because it's like I'm doing stuff. Man, Devontae Smith almost took that. Jeez. Now Smitty's limping. What's the point? I mean, look, I get it. The guy wants to have, he wants the ball. He wants all this. But at the same tokens, like, sometimes like why is he returning a punt there? I mean, is that needed? I don't know. I mean, if you're a coach, you want your best players to have the ball, but look, the guy's getting banged up. He goes down, against, in the before the national championship or Mac Jones or whatever. I don't know. I hate to think what's happening. What would happen? Just because, Smitty provides so much production for Alabama. You probably have like Najee Harris carry the football like 45 times. Throw it out to Miller Forrestall on the screen. It's going to be a gain of 11. Mac Jones is 21 of 24 in this game, 269 yards with 4 touchdowns. That's what I'm saying, Sticky Fingers. I mean, you kind of look to, the players that you absolutely need for Clemson. Devontae Smith is one of them. That's why I know people are like, why are you trolling with Jalen Waddle stuff? Look, we're not trolling. You guys want to talk about, is Jalen Waddle going to come back or whatever? I don't know. I mean, certainly they could use him. I know the offense is still productive, but you still need, playmakers. Najee Harris wrapped up. See, this is the thing. The OG's like, time to pull Smitty. But the thing is, they won't. They don't. It's kind of like all gas, no brakes. Vodka drinker. He's been having a good day on the first. That's right, man. I'm going to do this 2021 right. Eric Thomas is like, no Brian Robinson yet. Nope. No Brian Robinson. It's just been Najee Harris. It's only running back to carry the football this game. Mac Jones steps up. Another connection with Slade Bolden. It's going to be a 14-yard reception. Slade Bolden in this game, two receptions for 22 yards. Pretty incredible to see what Alabama's kind of done in this game statistically when you kind of step back. So 406 yards of offense through 3 quarters, 283 passing yards, 123 rushing yards. It's not, a 600-yard performance, but then again, we're only in the 3rd quarter. All right, that is a big blitz from Notre Dame. Mac Jones able to dump the ball away. Alabama's going to face a 2nd and 10. 18 seconds before the 4th quarter. Winner advances to the national title game. Game will be on January 11th in Miami, Florida. That's where the title game will be. And that they should have many more fans in Florida. I think things, from Florida are kind of more opened in this COVID situation. So, for example, I think there's only 16,000 at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, which is just crazy to think about because I think it sits like 100,000 or something like that. I've never been there. I've always wanted to go there. This was kind of the opportunity, but now kind of considering the circumstances, I'm not going to the games this year. That's why that was kind of the brainchild of this watch party. But I do send one of my staff members to each of the game, which is Tony. We're going to go to the fourth quarter. Alabama up 28-7. Be right back here on BamaInsider.com. Hey, what's up, guys? Back here on Bam Insider. Took a short break. After this is the post-game call-in show. What's up, Jeff? I see you. Hello. Good to see you. Hopefully you had a good New Year's Eve and a good start to 2021. Told ND fans, let's see, Kyle, what's up, buddy? Doing a call-in show? Yeah, I am, man. After this, I'll start the call-in show. So how it works is I'll end this stream and fire up a new stream, and then I'll take your calls and comments right here on Bama Insider. So um, I used to kind of just go right through and have it on the same stream, but then I like to kind of break it up and have like two different shows. I don't know if that's the right way. It's just kind of, how I roll with things right here on Bama Insider. Looks like Alabama is going to be facing a 4th and 4. We are in the fourth quarter of this game. Remember, the winner gets the winner of Ohio State and Clemson. Thank you. 28-7, and it's going to be a 41-yard field goal by the gift that continues to keep on giving, Will Reichard. It's a 10-play, 47-yard drive, a 41-yard field goal from Will Reichard. I believe he has 14 of 14 now on the season. Can you believe that? I mean, there's been so many times where, Alabama has just not had the field goal kicker. I mean, it's been years and years, and this guy has just been something so special. This guy is incredible. I mean, it's amazing to see this guy all the time just be right down and the guy's ice cold. He's got it looks like some sort of almost like a mullet coming out the back. If I was him and having the success, I'd definitely rock the mullet. There's some people who could rock the mullet. There's some people who can't. I've been trying to get Mick Gillespie to rock the mullet for a long time. I'm not sure if he's going to do it. He said $1,000 super chat. He could have a mullet. He could rock the mullet. Mick could definitely rock the mullet. All right, 31-7 right here on this game. Winner advances to the Natty. It's clearly going to be the Alabama Crimson Tide. I'm looking. I mean, look, this game has been mildly competitive. I think Notre Dame has played better than what I saw them play against Clemson. Clemson, I think, is playing fantastic football. I think they're going to take it to Ohio State. I think Justin Fields, he just hasn't been, I feel like he's kind of been turnover plagued, right? So I guess we'll have to see in the game upcoming. But what we're going to do after this, we'll have the post-game call-in show, probably go for like an hour or whatever, because I want to watch that game, to be honest. I want to enjoy myself and watch that game on the first. I've kind of made it a goal, for myself personally to, just kind of, enjoy it, because there's so many times I'm like, I'm the type of person that just likes to grind. I'm like all gas, no brakes. But I think I definitely need to kind of, settle down a little bit and just kind of also enjoy myself as well. Not to say that I don't, because I love being here with you guys. It's just I'm all gas, no brakes. So I think kind of having Mick Gillespie on and, bringing some other entities to help the channel grow has been better. So I'm not, because at first, it was all kind of Kyle Henderson doing all the content. But now since the channel has grown because of you guys, I've definitely been able to add some different entities to the channel to help the growth of it. 31-7 right here on BamaInsider.com. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys being here with me. I'll have the stream go to, close to the end of the game, and then we'll fire up the call-in show. I, got to set up the call-in show and get all set up. And then we also have Nick Saban's press conference, which will be uploaded to the channel along with Brian Kelly, along with the player interview. So plenty to go through on BamaInsider.com. I appreciate you guys more than you know. January 1st has been a blessing. I think 2021, I'm really looking forward to it. I think we're going to have another monster year, and I'm all about the positivity. What's up, Jenny? I see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Roll Tide to you. Mela saying Pool, Smitty, and Najee. And we'll see what they do. Hey, Brett, we appreciate you more than you know. Hey, I appreciate you guys too. Raider fans saying, welcome, Marion. God bless. I agree. God is good. Awesome, dude. What's up? Okay, I'll be right back here on BamaInsider.com. Thank you very 1,000 for a mullet. You crazy, fam. I was just telling him, I was like, this guy, I've been telling him to rock the mullet. I'll be right back here on Bama Insider. The time left in this game is 12 minutes and 38 seconds in the fourth quarter. Alabama is leading Notre Dame 31-7. I know Alabama has scored, I think, what is it I can't remember how many games consecutively that they've scored over 35. Close to it. I mean, now is kind of the time where you see one of those young freshmen or someone like that kind of rip one off, or you see a pick six or something like that. I definitely think Alabama will get to the 38-point mark. So don't worry about those records. I know like people are like, don't worry about records, just worry about the, being perfect. I get it. But at the same time, you're working towards all different things. And those are different type of goals that you have as a team. I'm sure, score over 35 points. Like you have to hit certain thresholds as a team, just goal wise. And I don't think Alabama or Nick Saban wants to run up the score on these guys. I mean, Brian Kelly seems like a pretty good dude, but things happen when you have a freshman like Jace McClellan rip like a 80-yard touchdown. What are you going to tell him to do? Run out of bounds? You can't. Just got to let these guys be who they are. Notre Dame right now facing a 1st and 10. Just crossed the 50-yard line. Number 23 for Notre Dame, K. Williams, 16 attempts, 64 yards. I think he's been pretty good. He's limping right now. He's coming out. Needs a blow. It's going to be a completed pass from Book is back in the game, obviously. He's going to complete a pass for 7 yards. 16-20 in this game, 138 yards with the interception. Check out this stat. Receiving wise, Notre Dame has gone to 6 different receivers, 17 receptions for 149 yards. Okay. Devontae Smith by himself has 7 receptions for 130 yards. So you kind of see like how much production from Devontae Smith. It's pretty incredible to just kind of step back. Would you please talk about the play-by-play? I thank you very much for joining me. No, so how this basically works is kind of like a watch along, and I provide like some commentary. I don't really do like play-by-play of the game. Sometimes I will, but what I've noticed and what I've found is sometimes I'm delayed because I'm on YouTube TV, or somebody might be on cable, or they might be ahead. So I just kind of, talk about the game as it is. But, to give you where we're at, 10:45 in the game, Alabama up 31-7. Ian Book has just completed an 18-yard pass to continue to move the chain. So let's see if Alabama can cover that spread. I think 19.5 points. So clearly they're ahead of that at this point. And, it was good pass protection from Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's offensive line has been better than I thought they were going to be. I thought they've done a pretty good job, to be honest. I mean, that's going to be tight. I mean, if they score another touchdown here, then, you look kind of at that cover line of 19. They'll have a little bit of breathing room. I know I took Alabama in the over. Hey, thanks, Kimberly. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me on the 1st. It's the 1st of the month. Wake up. Bone Thugs and Harmony. Touchdown. Notre Dame gets on the board with a touchdown. It was there's a flag on the play. It's going to be a flag on Notre Dame. So let's hold on for a second. Ian Book just threw a touchdown pass. It's going to be a penalty on Alabama. It's an illegal shift. So let's see what's going to happen here. No, I'm sorry. It was Notre Dame with an illegal shift. Sorry, the stat broadcast had the incorrect stat. So it was a illegal shift on Notre Dame. So it's going to take away the touchdown. So it's still going to remain 31-7. And Notre Dame is now going to be facing a 2nd and 11 at the Alabama 14. It was the guy was wide open, but it was an illegal shift, so it didn't count. So kind of a resetting here. It's a 2nd and 11, 10 minutes remaining in this game. My name is Kyle Henderson. If you're just joining us, be sure and hit the thumbs up button, like and subscribe. We got Nick Saban's press conference following the game. Nice wrap up right there. That's going to be by DeMarco Hellams. Statistically wise for the Alabama defense, leading the way is DeMarco Hellams, who just had a tackle right there. He has 10 total tackles. I love the player DeMarco Hellams. I've always thought that he has a great game. I've always respected how he comes with it. He's kind of the one player on Alabama that can provide that boom. Josh Jobe has 6 tackles. William Anderson has 6 tackles. Sack-wise, they've only got to Ian Book 1 time. I knew that was kind of be the case because he's slippery. Right? He's really tough to get to. But we've seen, some heat on the quarterback. They're able to get to Book right there. That's going to be Byron Young, number 47. And Notre Dame is going to face a 4th and 10 at the Alabama 13. 31-7 is the score. 9 minutes remaining in this game. Winner of this game advances to the Natty. Ian Book goes up, bad pass, and it's going to be the 4th and 10. Okay. 8 minutes and 49 seconds. Brian Kelly trying to, get his team to hone in, but I think, we all kind of knew that this was going to be the outcome in some way or fashion. And it's going to be incomplete, and it's going to be a turnover on down. So Alabama's defense is going to come up and not allow a touchdown inside the red zone. Credit to the defense right there for coming up with a big play in the fourth quarter. So score remains 31-7, and Alabama will take over after a turnover on down. And a big play by the defense, doing a great job. It was some pressure, I think. It was also a bad throw. Then it also had Brian Branch, so a lot going on that play. Alabama, yeah, tell me about it, Raider. Yeah, Alabama keeps that cover. 31-7. Let's see if Alabama can put some points on, because now I'm looking at that consecutive scoring streak over 35 points. I'm kind of worried about that. I don't know. I could see how crazy would it be if Alabama goes down the field right now and kicks a field goal and then just misses out on scoring over 35. We'll be right back. I'm going to take a timeout right here on Bama Insider. All right, fam. Back. We're in the fourth quarter. Remember, the winner goes to the Natty. It's going to be amazing to cover Alabama in the championship game. And, it's going to be between Clemson and Ohio State. Post who you got between Clemson and Ohio State inside the comment box. I want to see if there's kind of a heavy lean to Clemson. I think Clemson's going to win the game. I said on the show, on our tailgate show, that they're going to win handedly. I don't know. I kind of feel now that the game might be a little bit closer. I don't know. I feel that Clemson's going to win. Elijah's with me. So is Brandon Franklin. We have an Ohio State pick though open here. So Bryce should be in there. Clemson by 24. Yeah, all right, you feeling it. I kind of, I'm excited to check the game out. So I'm going to spin the post-game call-in show. Take your calls and comments, kind of fly through it so we can all get back to the game that we want to watch is between Clemson and Ohio State later on tonight, because I definitely want to just sit back and enjoy that game on a nice doubleheader. So Georgia barely survived Cincinnati in a game where former Alabama running back, a transfer, Jerome Ford, had a nice game. And I appreciate it, Raider fan. Thank you so much, man. Nice little dump out to John Mechie. Do your thing, Mechie. And then also saw, was that Northwestern beat Auburn. It's like, man, Auburn ended the year bad, right, in 2020. And then in 2021, they started the year bad. It's crazy the difference between the two programs. It's all about stability, right? Nick Saban's been here since 2006. Where were you guys in 2006? Think about it. For me, I was actually living in Washington, D.C. at the time. I was in college doing an internship. I worked up on Capitol Hill, and I lived in Washington, D.C. It was amazing. Loved it. I definitely live up in the East Coast again. I loved it. Great times. Brian Robinson, his first carries of the game. Najee's out. Brian Robinson got a carry for 2 yards. Sorry, 4 yards. 2 carries for 4 yards. Mac Jones, incomplete. It's kind of like you almost wondered like why Mac Jones is in at this point, why Devontae Smith is in at this point. Look, I'm clearly not a coach, but kind of from a perspective of like, why do these guys need to be in at this point? I don't know. I mean, they're up 31-7. You kind of start looking to, the next game, which is, the national championship game. You want all these guys to be healthy. Freak injuries definitely happen. It's part of it, but I don't know. 31-7 is the score. It's going to be a flag on the play. Flag is roughing the passer. So that's going to give Alabama some much needed yards. I'm hoping that they score over 35 points. Crazy thing is when you look at this game overall from the penalties. Let's see, where are they? Penalties. There's not many. There's only been 5 penalties in this game. 3 on Alabama and 2 on Notre Dame. Pretty crazy. Now you got another false start. So 2 of the penalties have been on Alabama's offensive line. Alex Leatherwood has one, and then Chris Owens with the hold. So you want to tighten those things up. But this, the offensive line has been playing great. I mean, they've kept Mac upright. Defensively, from a statistical standpoint, DeMarco Hellams with 10 tackles, Josh Jobs with 6, William Anderson with 6 as well. Alabama facing a 1st and 15. Looks like 7:15 remaining in this game. I'll probably break away with like 3 minutes so I can reset and get ready for the call-in show. Remember, we'll have Nick Saban's press conference. We'll have the post-game call-in show, which will be immediately following this on a different stream. So we're just going to start a stream so you guys jump over there. There you go, B-Rob. 3 in. You have Xavier Williams, who just entered the game. Wide receiver that we really haven't seen too much of. I think he caught his first pass against Florida, but he just entered the game. He's a guy that I want to watch him develop over the springtime and see if he can be a receiver who steps up for Alabama. Because when I look to next season, right, where next year would be 2022. But when I look to this next season, which wide receivers are going to step up? I know Alabama has 4 very talented freshmen coming in, but who's gonna step up? Right here, they're going to Xavier Williams on, looks like a short kind of screen pass. What's up, Marty? Marty is saying that Notre Dame could still come back. I don't know. I appreciate you being here. I don't really agree with that. Only 5 minutes left in the game, and it's 31-7. I know crazy things happen in football, so maybe you're right. Who knows? But I just don't see the point in having Mac Jones back there right now. I mean, some sort of an injury to him would be, in my opinion, catastrophic. Not to say that I don't think Bryce could come in, because Alabama's won a national championship with the freshman before, kind of rewinded to Tagovailoa, but at the same point, he just doesn't have the reps and doesn't have kind of where he needs to be right now. It's going to be an intentional grounding call on Mac Jones. It's going to be 4th and 9. Mac Jones definitely not happy about that. 31-7. Jones looks frustrated on the sideline. It's the first time I've seen him like really frustrated. Oh, Marty's like, that was a joke. I got you, Marty. It's all good. Missed the sarcasm over the internet, right? It's all good, man. Charlie Scott. I like this punter. Yeah. So here's the thing with Charlie Scott. And Notre Dame has the football with 5 minutes remaining. There's going to be a penalty. It was a late hit. This game's kind of getting sloppy at the end, right? It's like you don't really see this with Alabama. This is sloppy. Let's see what happened on this. Looks like Devontae Smith. Oh, he got pushed. I don't know. And why is Smitty downfield covering punts? This is the best player in all of college football. Maybe that's why. But what I'm saying is like, you keep getting into it. Like, it'd be great, I mean, I don't know. Do you want your best players out there trying to make a tackle? I mean, Devontae Smith, surely you could put someone else out there to make a tackle. You have all these other guys who don't even play. I mean, you put Xavier Williams in right there. Why not have him go down and try to make a tackle? It's just, I don't know, some of the thought process. But then again, I'm not Nick Saban. I mean, so maybe I just need to keep it shut. 31-7, 5 minutes remaining in this game. I'll probably cut the stream at like 2 minutes or something like that so I can reset and get ready for my call-in show. Call-in line will be open and available. I hope to hear from you guys. Can't wait to get your calls and, talk about this game as Alabama will advance to the national championship. Pretty incredible. I can't wait to see who they're going to play, either Clemson or Ohio State. That game will be next on ESPN. I'll be right back. Kyle Henderson, Bama Insider. Jeez, he got lit. All right, what's up, fam? So 4 minutes remaining before Alabama advances to another national championship on the quest for the perfect season. My name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. I'll probably cut this particular stream with like 2 minutes, something like that, and then I'll catch you guys on the post-game show. Take your calls and comments and get set up for that. So I do back-to-back shows, a lot of talking, on game days, and then of course we'll have tons of coverage back at BamaInsider.com, stats, news, post-game analysis, all sorts of stuff. And that'll be coming your way right on BamaInsider.com. Think about becoming a member. We have plenty of promos if you're interested to get behind the paywall to read some of our recruiting information or some of our stories that are premium. Great play right there by DeMarco Helms. You can also become a member of our YouTube community by hitting the join button right at the bottom of this video. All you got to hit is join. We have like 3 different options. And, we appreciate it. All the super chats, everything goes a long way. So we really appreciate it. A lot of moving parts at BamaInsider.com. And as we continue to try to grow as a company and as a business, you're definitely the reason for that. So we want to continue to provide great content for you. And, you can catch all that coverage back at BamaInsider.com. But thank you for hanging out with me today on the first. It's been great, right? Alabama starts the season with a victory. Starts the year with a victory. That's good. I'll have, total stats, and we'll kind of dive into everything on the post-game show. So after this stream, just go back to our channel, look for the post-game show. You'll have a light indicating that's live. And then, of course, turn on those notifications so you can always get videos when we post them right here on BamaInsider.com. Alabama has 437 yards of offense. They're going to have, and Devontae Smith still returning punts with 3 minutes in this game. All right. Interesting. People are like taking Smitty out. I don't know. They're going to just let Smitty just ride. I think Smitty's calling the shots. He's like, what was the score of that Texas A&M game? I didn't get to see it. I'm looking it up right now on my phone. Did Texas A&M? Trying to see. Was it Texas A&M in North Carolina? When is that? That was today? Oh, it was tomorrow. Okay, it's tomorrow. So Texas A&M and North Carolina tomorrow. And I don't even know what bowl. Oh, that's the Orange Bowl. Oh, they play Saturday. Thank you. I'm excited to see that one. I think it's like the spread is like 7. I don't know. North Carolina, I feel like they can score. Texas A&M, Kellen Mond, you never know what team's going to show up for Texas A&M. Then again, their only loss this season is to Alabama, so maybe they're better than I'm giving them credit for. I just think Mac Brown has done a good job. Then again, I don't really have that much respect for the ACC just because I think it's not a very strong conference in my opinion, as we're seeing right here. I mean, this team beat Clemson without their quarterback. I get it. Like, I'm not saying that this team is better than Clemson by any means, because I think the Clemson team that I saw beat Notre Dame, they beat Notre Dame badly. Right. You look at the way Notre Dame has ended their season, and it's not impressive to me. I knew this game was going to happen. I knew the outcome would be like this. I knew it would be 31-7. Actually, my score prediction, I have it somewhere. I had it like 45-17 or something like that. 45-13. I thought they might, kick 2 field goals or something like that. Thanks, Cowboy. I appreciate it. Thanks, Vodka Drinker. Yeah, so Texas A&M, North Carolina. Yeah, I was like looking for the score because I definitely want to check that game out. We're on a commercial break right now, so I'll probably be around for this next series, and then I'll dip out and get ready for, our post-game call-in show. Hey, thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate you guys subscribing right here to the channel. We have a ton of content coming out. We posted Jalen Waddle catching passes, and honestly, that's not like to troll you or anything like that. It's just like, I get so many emails, so many questions. Like, is Jalen Waddle playing? Is he going to play? And I know people are, trying to feel like he's going to come in. Look, Nick Saban is pretty transparent, honestly. Like, he could be a lot more secretive than he is, but he's like, look, he's not practicing. If the guy is not practicing, that clearly tells you he's not going to play in the game. You can't just not practice and all of a sudden just play. So we'll get another update on, Jalen Waddle, probably next week or after. I know nobody's going to ask him about Jalen Waddle after this game, but I would assume the next time we start to talk about him, because think about it, the championship game is on January 11th, so that's 10 more days for him to rest, to recover. So we'll see where he's at. I hope he comes back, honestly. But I can see if he's not ready, then he's not ready. It is what it is. There's other guys on this team that will step up. We've seen it all season long. 3 minutes to go, and Notre Dame still moving the chains just a little bit. 7 plays, 40 yards for this drive. Ian Book, 22 of 30, 200 yards. Wow, so it looks like Alabama's scoring streak of 35 is going to stop. Wow, pretty. That's sad. I love that scoring streak, man. They had that going they had that going for a while. Nice play, Patrick Surtain. If you are a Yankee, don't chat. So we'll see. All right, fam. Well, I'm going to cut the stream right now, and then I'll catch you guys back on the post-game call-in show. Let's rest, let's recharge, and then we'll come back and right here on BamaInsider.com. Thank you very much for joining me throughout this presentation. I'll catch you guys up. The score is 31-7 right here on Bama Insider, and the game is on ESPN. Saban is furious to end the game. Eric don't care about the stats. He's like, just win. I got you. All right, 31-7. Okay, I'll be back. And yeah, Saban. Wow, you got us. Woo. Saban was hot. Okay. All right, fam. I'll be right back here on Bama Insider and on the post-game call-in show. Catch you guys in like 5 minutes.